March,
No,
not actually from 8 months
I'm not
ago.
answering. He's
Actually.
saying who was I closest with. I say you.
Yes, 8 months ago.
And then I say about how it.
That's not
Yeah,
March. We've transitioned to March out of nowhere.
Any information that's
talking about 8 months ago.
new. Shut the f up for a second. Any information that is new.
DeOrio wants to ask you, call in and ask you some stuff.
Well, what if I come
Well, before you leave,
back
then,
another
if,
day?
if you don't want to talk to
let's
Nick,
continue this another day.
We do have a classic vintage Nick DeOrio live stream for you to start off the night. Now, obviously, we didn't cover this interview on the channel. I don't know why. We're on our Bowblax attack arc, I guess, where we cover everything Bowblax, and we haven't had a chance to cover this. I don't know why. There's no reason in particular. I think I come up in this, but we're going to take a look at it now. And the reason why is because these guys were watching it. If you guys don't know, good friends Augie and Connor. Connor is currently wearing eggs on his head right now. He's doing a subathon. They're currently live for 10 days. And on the second day, Bowblax rose from the dead to call into this show to defend himself. We had a bit of a tat, so we're going to check that out. Tat would be tattoo. Is it a tit tat? We went tit for tat. We had a bit of a conflict, so we're going to check that out as well. I did call in. He tried to run. He came back and ran again. So we've got a lot to look at here. A spat? Is it a spat? It's a spat. Okay, it's a spat. So Bowblax posted a video 2 months ago, and if you missed it, I wouldn't actually tell you that you're all that. He got 1,000 views on main. No, this is the Bowblax channel. This is Mayo Monkey. All right, Mayo Monkey. So this is his second channel. He had a conversation with Gokanora about us. So when
I imagine you've undergone a lot of stress. And I'm not trying to remind you of the stress. I specifically want to know how...
I forgot that he changed his profile picture to blue. Do you remember that? He was like the red box for a while, but now he's blue. I think he changed it back to red, right? That was part of the, like, leave. He's lied profusely about his, like, want to get out of drama content throughout the entire time that he's been covering any of this stuff.
The GOAT.
The reason why we were, like, begging him to make content, and he said that, like, Connor is the next of kin, is because he wanted out. He wanted to cover other things and push drama on the back burner and only use it as an income source, which he wasn't super upfront about.
How have you been coping with it? How have you been dealing with it? Have you been pretty good? Have you been feeling okay? Have you been gaming a lot? Like, is gaming a good escape?
What's the name of the guy?
I don't know. I'm in a really weird position. A lot of strange things have happened.
Well, not missionary.
People also interact with me in more strange ways now,
Right.
than they did before. Like, people are less responsive in DMs, or
Right.
it's kind of like scared of me, low-key, I guess.
You've been alienated, bro. You got the red paint on you. You're fucking weirdo.
Chat, are you scared of Bowblax? Are you afraid of the man, the myth, the legend, Bowblax? Oh, what's that smell? It must be today's channel sponsor, Scentbird. You ever notice how certain influencers have a signature style that sets them apart? Just like their online personas, scents can define your personal brand. This month, I've been trying Yellowstone Ride Reserve by True Western and Open Road by Drift. Here's a quick tip for you. Apply your fragrance to pulse points like your wrists and neck. The warmth helps the scent evolve throughout the day, making it uniquely yours. If you're curious to explore new scents without committing to full-size bottles, you should give Scentbird a try because it comes in handy. They offer a monthly subscription that lets you explore over 900 authentic designer and niche fragrances. Each month you receive an 8 milliliter vial, providing about 120 sprays, plenty to test how a scent works in your various situations. And if you use my code DIORIO55 or scan the QR code on screen, you can get 55% off your first month. That's just about $8 to start your fragrance journey, and your next month will only be $16.95. Again, that's code DIORIO55 for 55% off. Discover scents that resonate with you and add a touch of flair to your daily routine. Thank you to Scentbird for sponsoring today's segment. So he goes through this now and he starts explaining it to Gokanaro.
Add yourself caffeine.
The problem with the audio is Gokanaro can't like audio balance, so when he talks, it's super loud, and when Bowblax talks, it's almost silent.
Nick, we weren't. Man, it's just so complicated, and honestly, I can't remember, like...
He has no memory, he has no idea.
I don't know if I can recall it, like, or explain it 100% accurately or whatever, but we've basically, like, I was getting annoyed at him for like little things that normally you wouldn't like be like, okay, dude, I have to talk about this, but just like little things.
Yeah.
But I had a mental.
This is bizarre. I wish we would see this more, I guess, where people are going and kind of explaining their own drama to someone who didn't cover it, isolated and without like anyone to intervene, just to see like what they think went wrong. It's fascinating.
Issue
Is Dark Viper EU a virgin?
And
No,
I ended
I am
up having
not.
like a freak out kind of like spam DM like crazy thing against him, and obviously
Yeah, he is making it sound like it was a breakup, and you'll see more of that when he hops in the call.
that really
Ended up on a stream.
bothered him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was really the main thing there. I'm sure Nick in his videos, I think he has a video called like Why I Hate Bowblax. I haven't watched it, but I'm sure he'll explain in depth.
Do we really think that Bowblax has just not watched any of these videos? He's seen none of them. None of this content has hit his feed at all whatsoever.
Why he doesn't like me or whatever.
I recommend.
Yeah, it's
watching
total
Nicholas
fucking cap. It is
DeOrio's
absolute
latest video.
fucking cap.
Just the overall vibe I get from him is he was just kind of getting fed up with just me, and he just felt like I was being crazy and he couldn't deal with it, or didn't want to be friends with me anymore, and just felt like he wanted to
I feel like that's like a slight oversimplification. Would you say that that's an oversimplification? Like, out of curiosity.
I don't know, make videos on me instead or something.
Right.
With Augie, he saw I was having this conflict with Nick, and he was gone for like a year, and he came back and he DM'd me. He's like, okay, we've been on After Hours, you've been on every episode or whatever. You can come on my show and share your side and maybe redeem yourself or whatever. But then the After Hours ended up very much being like just in.
Did he think that Augie was going to bring him on? It just would never, like, none of it would come up. Like, none of the interactions, none of the drama, nothing that was actually happening. Augie brought him on for just like an old-fashioned powwow. Like, what is happening right now?
Interrogation and people, and it was very clear that Augie did not have my best interest in mind, despite what he said.
I see.
In the DM leading up to it, I feel like
He
I was
farmed you?
about to
He fucking
scream.
farmed you, bro?
Yeah.
And it's like, he has no, like, he literally can leave at any time. You know? Like, he's on a stream. He doesn't have to stay there.
Yeah, and I've noticed that Augie particularly got hostile towards me when he found out I was non-binary.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my... Dude, listen, alright? I don't mean to be a dick. I'm not trying to attack Bowblax's fucking identity here. But dude, he started wielding it as a sword immediately. He literally lied about me leaking the fact that he's non-binary to use as a sword. And now, even in hindsight, it's just because he's a transphobic bigot. That's the only reason that Augie's mad, dude.
And I also found that also kind of correlates with how Connor turned on me as well. Like when I told him, and he
it has nothing to do with like the multiple videos he quote unquote refuses to watch. It's all because he's fucking trans. That's the only way.
Asking about it, and I showed him some pictures of me in like
Right.
non-conventional clothing, nothing sexual, but just like I was in a skirt or whatever.
Yeah.
Later I saw.
And by the way, there's two pictures. Everyone forgets the other picture. I was trying to ask about it in chat, but there was the one picture of him in like the skirt that was like drawn by Aiden. That's like the one referenced in the intro, because at the time the intro was made, that was the only picture that you could use. And the other one was a picture of him in a dress holding a picture of Keemstar.
Nicholas, the goat. I appreciate that.
This is good news, Nick. We can be NBs.
It was weird, right? Because he was holding a picture of Keemstar, and he wrote to Connor saying, like, I'm owning him right now. Keemstar is so owned that I'm wearing a dress. It like, that was where the whole Bowblax has a humiliation fetish thing came from. That's not where it came from, because it obviously there's other reasons as to why you'd believe that. But that's, I think, where the idea was planted. Like, this is an extremely weird thing that's happening.
Clips of him saying, like, I unconsensually, like, sent him, like, sexual photos, and that was not the case at all. And stuff has been, like, I don't know, described in a very vitriolic, kind of transphobic really just like culture war kind of way, like
Right.
People have been saying, like, I think I heard a clip of Augie saying like I was groomed by like LGBT or something like that.
To be fair, Augie probably has said that. That is probably something that Augie has said.
Like, I don't know. That's kind of like my general gist of it, but I'm sure maybe people will react to this
and like
maybe I'm not being
What's the name of the guy?
Yeah, but those are kind of like the broad
Orbiter?
strokes
Nick Oreo. Mr.
Why I
Oreo.
can gather why they don't like me.
Considering how he
Right.
talks about you and Tip, he may just like M double stuffed. Needs his
awesome.
large and in charge men to blow his
Awesome,
blacks
dude. Wow. Okay, thank you. Blow his blacks out. That is actually very creative. I haven't heard that one before.
Nothing sexual. Then why did you have to tell us to uninstall Twitter?
Ah. Yeah, again, that's
Nicholas,
also another thing. He was
the
doing
goat.
pornography.
Thank you for the
You're not
$5,
wrong.
my man.
He was definitely doing pornography. That did happen.
Or want to make fun of me.
Oh, there's another one coming. This is good news. Oh, is it not? I'm getting going. All right,
Slimy
there it
Weasley
is.
fuck.
Ah!
Long trip across almost 2 states. Thanks for being our entertainment.
Oh,
coach.
you've seen nothing yet. You've seen this is just like the appetizer.
I mean, there is stuff to make fun of. I am like a goofy person, and
Oh, guys, I'm such a goofball. There's tons of stuff you can make fun of me for.
Nicholas,
But that's
the
the stuff that's
goat. I
above
appreciate
board.
that.
Yeah, that's the above board stuff.
did fuck up in some ways, so like you can make fun of it or whatever. But honestly, like what confuses me right now is kind of like why people seem really angry at me, like the vitriol, like
I don't know, dude. Maybe it's just because you lie about people all the time. I can't imagine. Chat, why would people be upset with Bowblax? I'm trying to get the chat back, sorry. Why would people get upset with Bowblax?
you did something, like I don't get that really.
Right.
or
Because
understand.
in your head, it seems more like a case where you mentally spiraled, lashed out against your friends a little bit, and then
Yeah.
brutally, like, basically got
Nicholas,
kind of,
the goat.
like you
Thank
fucked
for
up
the
your own life in a
$5, my
sense,
man.
and then those former friends who felt betrayed kind of
Oh, sorry. I don't know why it opened up to that picture.
you effectively, and then
It just got, literally all of a sudden you got fucking flashbang by Adam McIntyre. I am so fucking sorry. I did not mean for that to occur. Yes, dude, we got the chat back. We got the chat back. We did it. Okay.
had like another brutal fucking circumstance, which was the leaks and all that. So like,
Yeah.
in the end of the day, in your head, you don't think like nobody was really a
Yeah,
victim
there was no thought process to that one. I didn't know you could see that. I'm sorry.
other than you. Is that the idea?
I was taking a drink when you I'm so sorry. This is good news, Mark.
Essentially,
Please never
although
ever say it again. Bowblax is not an appetizer.
When did I call Bowblax? It's the appetizer.
I mean, Nick definitely was a victim in summer. Like, I was definitely like a little too crazy towards him, and
see.
I definitely.
And now I am the aggressor. 500 years. All right, you understand what's happening here. Bowblax is giving a really weak summary of what's happened to Gokinaru, who's literally eating it up with his lunch, whatever he wants to do. That's obviously going to talk to the man is fine. Trying to do probing questions is a little odd, but whatever, perfectly fine. I checked out the Augie stream, which I now probably have to now find the timestamp again, but Mr. Bowblax actually came on to confront his haters directly. I believe it's about right here.
Especially since
So this is him. They're watching it here, but this is where it starts to get pretty good, because now Bowblax is on aggression mode. Where was it?
Get him.
and then
Nope. Where do they start? Sorry, the crash fucked up my whole thing here. Here.
But I don't really. All I hear is that, I have to do more research now.
Yeah, because I saw people in the chat saying, well, no, he's cooking, Twitter's useless to use. And I will say, if you're using Twitter as maybe...
Is of like
Nope, not it. Sorry.
All in. Double videos every day.
How much do they watch? I should have looked at the timestamp.
If you like the
Nintendo's chat, like,
Oh,
really? Need to
When
clarify because it's a fetish, probably.
yeah.
Separate.
moment, which was like,
Okay, here we go.
I am the realist.
I think because you pissed me.
What about me?
Punishments today?
Just a second,
Here they are.
because I want to hear the context.
So
Yeah,
found
fuck.
that also
We're not doing reactception. We're not actually watching them react. We're watching Bowblax call in to debate them.
Relates with how Connor turned on me as well. Like like when I told him,
stupid.
and he was but later I sent him like
that.
Well, I was just.
Okay, I thought we were.
and like
saying that you
described it in a transphobic.
Okay, where the fuck did it go?
I think often like, but
I'm actually seething right now.
lie.
Okay, Gokunaro, stop moving.
Admit to lying, then sometimes. Ever heating.
But not like.
Have you apologized?
I'm actually smoking crack currently. That's what's happening here. All right, so it happens literally right here because that's when Gokunaro stops moving.
Bowblax just calls in and screams the fucking N-word.
That's probably what.
Oh, but should we just switch accounts or something? There we go. Bowblax.
There we go. I'm so sorry, dude. I am so sorry.
Welcome to RFC
At least the
Mania.
audio is better. At least the audio is better.
Yeah.
Yep. Can you hear?
I was just waiting till we hit 4,000 viewers. That was what happened. It had nothing to do with the fact that I'm terrible at streaming. I needed to make sure all 4,000 of my closest friends and family were here.
Yes. Hello.
sorry about that. I couldn't like find your. I don't think.
Yeah,
you have
Gokunaro made a steak, dude. He made a steak.
any mutual servers on your like iPod Discord account. So like,
Probably not. I'm not in that many servers.
I had. Yeah, I don't know. I don't normally unblock people on Discord, so I didn't know how to do it.
Why did you block me in the first place? I've been nothing but.
I don't remember.
I am the realist.
I think because you pissed me. You probably pissed me off at a certain point.
What
You've been
pissed
saying
you off
shit.
with the truth that you need to hear?
I don't know. I don't know. When did I block you?
I love how Bowblax, after all of the feuding and after all the fighting, comes in trying to be friendly. Like, he thinks this is just going to go his way. If you think he comes in with, like, a bubbly attitude, then it's going to be
Nicholas,
an old-fashioned after-hours
Thank you for the
episode.
$5,
I mean, I'm
man.
not going to draw past this. This guy has been slandering me for, like, 2 months, saying I'm fucking Comic Cop. All right? Trying to get, like, all of my enemies to fight with me about it and walking into rakes and rakes and rakes, dude.
The day after.
It was probably the day of the stream. I'm not even sure.
Actually, I think it's only been a month at this point.
After hours.
Yeah.
Feels like it's been 2 months.
I mean, I probably was. Yeah, I was like blocking a lot. So I don't remember who or
Nicholas,
where. I have a lot
the
of
goat.
stuff
Thank you
blocked.
for the $5.
So what's been
man?
so what's been going on, man? I mean, you've had quite the fucking year. I mean, you've decided to call into the stream. I mean,
Well, it can't be quite the year, because if it was quite, he would have been redeemed.
and what's I mean, I don't even know where to begin with this shit. What was your motivation for calling in today?
Well, okay.
Well, I have a humiliation fetish that needs to be satisfied.
So I just finished working on a video, and I felt good. And I know that you were like doing.
Guys, I just finished a video. I was feeling really up. I thought you could beat me down into the ground, dude. You could slap my humiliation fetish around and give me a raging boner. That's what I was worried about. I was feeling too good today. I needed a worse day.
The, multi-hour long stream, and I was just curious, and I looked, and you were reacting to me talking about some things, and I was just like, well, wouldn't it be easier if I just like call in?
Well, I guess so. I mean, you said that we haven't really got into the parts that you talked about me and Connor about, but so far
So he did like the, oh fuck, they're reacting right now. Let me jump in and try to smooth this one over. Maybe they don't have to watch the rest of the interview on their stream and then like cause a huge hate wave towards me right after I make a brand new video for my channel. And completely overshadow the entire discussion.
Nicholas,
Maybe we could just do
goat.
this
I
instead.
appreciate that.
Augie is balding while Bowblax's hair grows even more.
I saw Augie's hairline. I was not very pleased with what I was seeing. All right.
a couple things. I mean, I'll do me first, and then I'll let Connor speak for himself. You said that
Bowblax is in the call. Augie's gonna finish himself, then he'll finish Connor.
main issue with you is that you're trans or something like that, which I find to be...
No, I did not say the main issue. I just said that's like an aspect, because didn't
Well, okay, dude. All right, we only watched a little bit of that conversation. Was that not your big takeaway? Was that not... dude, come on. I didn't see this part yet, so that was new for me. Did he not just straight up lie immediately? That was his opening argument, wasn't it? No, you misunderstand. You misunderstand. It's an explanation. It's not an apology.
Gokunaru asked if that was an aspect of why people dislike me, and
I recommend watching Nicholas
Thank you.
DeOrio's latest video.
Hope you enjoy it.
like, I don't think so, but like, I know Augie's not like cool with transgender kind of in general. So maybe that could
I think
like.
he says.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with my actions or why people. Like, no, dude, it's because Augie is like a phobia of trans people. All right, he's absolutely terrified of them.
It's a primary
Hey, thank you so much for hitting the goal. Appreciate it.
reason, because you then say that the primary reason is your meltdown, and for us that was one of the primary motivators that started it. But Augie never mentioned that to you once.
The only problem with this combo,
Fallout,
the only problem for this the combo is it's during a 24-hour stream with like very loud TTS, so that's probably going to be super annoying.
he didn't DM you about anything regarding your identity or non-binariness. He gave you a laundry list of ways that you fucked up and lied to try to help you.
Breakfast gifted. I have Xander apostrophe
Well,
4,000.
yeah, I mean, I'll
Run for Breakfast donated saying, I have Xander Hall's $4,000. Please give it back. He needs it. He needs that fucking money, okay? Jesus Christ.
I'll speak for myself on this segment just because I don't want it to be like a complete pile-on or something like that, right? Like, I'll
Spoiler alert. He does not succeed in this.
I'll let you speak when we go over what he said about you in this thing. But yeah, I mean, the idea that like, you know, oh, the reason why like I, you know, quote unquote turned on you is because you're trans is just completely delusional. I mean, I laid it out on the stream earlier. The reason why is because first of all, you were mentally, you know, being psychotic. You're being psychotic to Nick, which on its own is not something that I can cut somebody off for, but it is, you know, it is like a red flag if somebody's that like.
No, I'm sorry, bro. If you're psychotic, call me a bad friend. Call me whatever you want, dude. That's a fucking. You're a disaster waiting to happen. I don't want to be in the fucking zone when you go off.
Can we get an Ethan Hassan Destiny free for all top card with Bowblax versus Mr. Girl at the KFC in Yemen?
Yeah, dude, we can get them there.
Nicholas, the goat. I appreciate that.
Dude, I'm sorry.
Bowblax more like blown out.
Am I unhinged here? I think that's more than enough reason to like cut ties with somebody. Like this is like fucking. I don't know, man. How much risk do you want with somebody who's gone completely fucking insane? And every time you try to give them advice, they ignore you. How much am I supposed to give? How long am I supposed to sit here and wait for this to work out?
Crazy or whatever, right? On top of that, though, you were lying about key details when it came to like the timeline of events.
Like we literally fucking couldn't stand Bowblax, like because he was lying like about key details, as Augie says here. And then after we finally like cut the cord, instead of just lying about the details, he started lying about us. All I've learned so far is that like everything I did was the right move with Bowblax.
I was like asking you specifically in DMs for details. I forget what it was specifically. I'd have to like look back at our last DM conversation. But remember I asked you something about the timeline of like when you were going after lyrics and you completely lied about the timeline of events. And then I called you out on that lie. And then like you took a few hours to respond. And then you were like, I'll try not to lie again. Or you said something where it was like, oops. It was basically what it amounted to. So you were crazy. You were lying about, you know, a bunch of like details on events when I was just trying to ask you questions about basic information. And then on top of that, you're being vindictive to people like lyrics, which led me to believe like, okay.
The problem isn't, and people keep talking about this, and you can go back and you can learn the context because I can't really do all of that here. There's plenty of videos though I can source you. It wasn't that he leaked a phone call by lyrics. That's what it's often misconstrued as. Like people are like, oh, you're just mad that he leaked a phone call. You leak phone calls all the time. It's that he was so fucking crazy that he listened to that back. He showed it to a whole Discord server of people who were extremely like uneasy about it. And he thought he looked good. Actually, I don't know if he... No, I don't know if he showed that one. There was multiple different things, calls and stuff that he was showing to the Discord. But like... He thought he looked good in that phone call. He thought that like he was going to expose Lyrics and it was going to blow up in Lyrics' face. And the only person who looked bad in it was Bowblax. It was proof that he was completely fucking delusional. He was out of his mind.
Okay, well, if you have this pattern of vindictive behavior...
It's insane that this all happened coincidentally on the same day that I told you the lies he was telling me about you. Yeah, Tipster reached out to me today and told me that I fucking... Apparently, there's two things that I had told Bowblax. One, he had found out in a private Discord server, in Xyle's server, that I was actually Comment Cop. Now, I've asked every single person, which I didn't have to do, because I'm not Comment Cop, but I asked, like, Matt Pitt, like, do you know what he's talking about? Matt Pitt didn't know what he was talking about. I mean, I haven't asked Xyle yet, but there's nobody from that server who can back up his story because it didn't happen. So he's just gone around creating some like backstory to his lie, and he's perpetuated that further. He also spread a rumor that I said that like I really hoped Tipster committed suicide in like a completely unironic way. That my goal with making continued content on Tipster was to kill him. Now, it's possible that I made like a joke. I do this on Discord. I'm like, everybody who I don't like needs to die, or something like that. I made comments like that. It's not like in a serious tone. I don't think I stopped Bowblax and said, I want to bully Tipster until he kills himself. Because even from like a selfish standpoint, that would be the end of my YouTube channel. Obviously, I don't hate Tipster enough that I want him to die. Let me just say that first and foremost. But second of all, bullying someone to death is kind of like a suicide note for your own channel. How do you come back from that? Like, even when it's like shot as a misfire, when they did this to like Dark Viper AU and claim that Dark Viper was responsible for fucking Apollo Legends suicide, right?
I recommend watching Nicholas DeOrio's.
Even when that
video.
happened to like Dark Viper, which I've defended.
I had a dream in the past that Hassan and I were trapped in a basement where he chased me around and tried to tickle me.
Yeah.
I would rather relive the Hassan tickler than be subjected to Bowblax's nasty pics.
Yeah. There are still people who go around saying Dark Viper is responsible for Apollo Legends suicide. Why? Because Dark Viper made a couple of critical videos and was critical of him while he was alive. Therefore, he's responsible for a man's death. I mean, you can't, even if it's fake, you can't really shake a reputation like that. Even if it's not my fault, I don't think I'd be able to move forward without like constant reminders that Tipster died. So that's like a crazy thing to tell him to try to get him on your side. So that was weird as well, but I appreciate Tipster for telling me. And he tells me all this stuff on the day that Bowblax comes to litigate it on live stream.
What's the name of the guy?
Have you around my
Nick Oreo.
I think the word I used for Tipster today, to Tipster today when I explained it to him, is I said that like the concept of someone killing themselves, even if it's not your fault, even if it's a terrible person, even if like you really hate somebody, it's a terrifying possibility, even like specifically associated with the ramifications for that happening. That is a genuine terrifying possibility.
life? I'm obviously going to cut you off, right?
Yeah, was it not Billy Mitchell's fault? That's what Carl taught me. Again, my first thought for that is just like, yeah, that's awful. When we were covering it, I was like, yeah, I mean, there's really no defending that.
Like, it has nothing to do with you being trans.
Yeah, of course, and those are all valid reasons. And I never. What I meant with that was that, like.
Yeah, Keem can't even escape the Etika stuff, and I've defended Keem on that, but the internet doesn't. Etika's family came out and defended Keem. He can't escape that. Who the fuck would want somebody they're covering to kill themselves?
You're transphobic in some ways, and maybe that played a factor in you hating me at that current moment, which was like after the fact, right? Not like the impetus for it, but like why you might currently still hate me to the state potentially. That was kind of how I was interpreting the question. But
well, like, hate is even like a strong, like, I don't even think hate is like an accurate word or whatever. I don't really hate anyone in the fucking world, right? But it's just like the reason why I cover you and I fucking make fun of.
Oh, I hate tons of people. I hate that argument. Oh, I don't hate anybody. I'm a loving, passionate guy. No, I hate tons of people.
You, for the most part, is that you become a complete lolcow. Like, on top of your vindictive nature, right? You also you've been completely, like, you've made...
Dude, how is he going to navigate this? Yeah, you're an extremely vindictive lolcow. How do you respond?
Horrible decisions, career decisions, and life decisions that I find worthy of mockery, in the same way that you've, like, found a lot of shit that was worthy of mockery when it came to Tipster. So, I mean, if you're wondering, like, why I quote-unquote farm you or something like that, because I noticed you in this Gokunara video, you talk about farming a lot, right? It's just because you've made a lot, and we can talk about different things you've done that I find, like, worthy of mockery, but, I mean, that's really what it all comes down to. It's not just...
Okay.
You victimize... You have a pattern of, like, victimizing yourself a lot.
Yeah. I'm just interrupting slightly because I don't want to, like, get off track to what you're saying. So...
He didn't get a word of that. Holy shit, dude. Yeah, you're like a perpetual victim. I need to interrupt you so I can stay on task. So what did you say?
Fuck, can you like repeat what you just said?
Oh my god, I'm not even okay, I didn't pre-watch this part. I didn't know that was gonna be the dude, come on.
Like, just prior, real quick?
I don't know. Basically, when I'm
Dude, Augie's like, oh fuck this, dude. This is a waste of my time. Holy
saying
shit.
is that, I don't know. The reason why
Dude, he literally just derailed the whole conversation by being tactically retarded. It's like when Denims goes like, what? What did Ethan say? And moves on to the next point.
Cover you is because you
oh yeah, okay.
Yes,
I remember
okay.
now. Sorry. So like the yeah, so I was answering like questioning that you might dislike me due to like the trans stuff because I didn't understand like what would be criticizable like in terms of like the Lolcow behavior. I'm like,
dude, Bowblax said he must hate me because I'm trans, because I can't think of one reason why he would dislike me. This is insane. This is an actual fucking crazy person. I refuse to watch all the coverage, so I've publicly chosen to defame you and say that you only cast me out because of your transphobia, despite the fact that I have watched none of this content.
like, well,
like what a malicious piece of shit.
I didn't see it as Lolcow behavior, so I'm like, I guess maybe that's like an aspect of it. But I guess in that conversation, listening back, because I am listening back to it now through like your stream a bit, I did oversell it. And maybe in the moment, I was just on some sort of wavelength where I did think you were maybe more transphobic than I
And by the way, if I was Bowblax here and I wanted to attack Augie and I wanted to get some licks in, I feel like I would hit him with this exact argument. You've said, like, I'm a fetishist. You've, like, implied my fucking whatever isn't real. Like, this is all the same. He could probably make a convincing argument for the trans people who don't associate with Bowblax because he was extremely terrible to, like, Tipster and other fucking LGBTQ people. He doesn't really have that audience to pull from because he was awful before he became non-binary. But if he did have it, that would be who to pander to.
In terms of me specifically, then I'm thinking right now. So yeah, I apologize. I went too far.
Oh my god! Wait, why? He literally apologized immediately?
Probably with that.
Wait, does he do this the whole stream? He just picks a fight and then concedes? Picks another fight, concedes, picks a fight, concedes?
Assertion, especially since, you know, I haven't talked with you in like a very long time.
So I just chose to lie about you publicly is like the position he's going to run with. I have no idea what your position is, so I made one up.
Yeah, that's been quite a while.
Obviously, I wouldn't know how transphobic you are or not outside of your tweets, which are very...
And the crazy part is he probably could have won this argument. And no offense to Augie, but he probably could have gotten points here.
Hyperbolic in nature, of course.
Well, I mean, that's the point of fucking Twitter, isn't it? You know? The whole point of Twitter is saying the worst shit you can think of, the most negative shit that's on your mind.
He's like, okay, this is I can't fight this, I can't fight this. Next argument. Concede here, move on to the next thing.
Yeah, so potentially maybe, like, you said something, and, like, that got in my head when I was talking with Gokinawa, but regardless.
Oh, God. Wait, it is agree to disagree. It is literally agree to disagree. It's like, you must have said something that I can't remember, and it was in my head, and it wasn't just made up, and I promise you, and I didn't watch any of your content, so I have no idea how I would find this out, but I guess we could just agree to disagree, right?
Yeah, I apologize. I went too far on that.
Okay,
sure.
Well, fair enough, if you apologize for that.
Do you apologize, Augie?
Point. I mean, can we just... I don't know how... can we just... address the elephant in the room? Like, can we talk about 111? Like, just
Can we talk about your fucking disgusting fetish porn that hit my feed?
Can we just talk
first,
about...
but prior you laid out all of the reasons that like you dislike me that weren't and I kind of would want to like
okay, we'll get to that for... I mean, there's so much you've offered to call in.
There's like a timeline, right?
There's an infinite amount of things I just would love to ask you about, but we can address the personal shit first.
Yeah, because that's more why I'm inclined to talk to you here and on this platform. Because, like, you know, we've been part of this platform for a while, and with you and Connor and Nick in particular, like
Run
you
for
guys
breakfast
like
super chatted
were my
$2.
friends, right? Like
Always
outside of
forget.
content and
Please,
everything,
dear God,
we
let
were
us
pretty close,
forget.
especially like me and Connor working together for so long. So I do feel like it doesn't have to be a public platform, but I feel like
How many times do I have to talk to this guy? I'm so confused. Like, how many times are we supposed to chat about this?
publicly or privately, it probably is good just as human beings to get our kind of potential grievances out. So when you bully me in the future, it's like...
Keep in mind, he says this and then ran from a debate with me like 20 minutes later. Literally ran from a debate with me.
Less of like, oh, I hate this person, and more like for less personal reasons, and more like he's a Lolcow or whatever, you know.
So you want me to cover you as a lolcow and less as... Well, I mean, I think that's how...
Well, no,
we have to have like a sit-down conversation with Bowblax every time he cows out so we can figure it out.
I'm just saying...
Oh my god, Jesus, dude. Bowblax.
Saying like the reason I'm coming on here is so... partly is so that...
this is like Harley when he was defending Creator Clash. Like, I don't know if this is really the best place to hash this out. But, I mean, we love him for it. We love Harley for it. We love when Bowblax goes on these streams. Actually, that's mean. I shouldn't compare Harley to Bowblax. Harley is a functioning adult. I apologize.
Animosity on, like, a more personal level, if that makes any sense. Like, outside of content creation.
Well, the problem is that, you know, I do have some animosity for you just because I think you're a compulsive liar. Like,
oh my god, and you, like, Bowblax puts a stupid apology out, and Augie does not fucking hold back, dude. He just keeps pushing forward. Okay, fine.
Even just the other week, you come up with this lie about how, like, Nick DeOrio is comment cop. I mean, do you really believe that? And I know you don't, I know you want to focus specifically on personal stuff, but that is related to your personal behavior.
By the way, that's a crazy prompt. Hey, I want to call into the show. Can we talk only about personal things? I feel like that's usually what people avoid. That's pretty based.
Vindictiveness and your willingness to lie about people that have, like, burned you. I mean, what the fuck was that about? You just pulled that completely out of your ass, right?
Well, I've known for a while that Nick was content cop.
Do you have evidence for that?
Through a screen.
Now I'm the content cop. I'm iDubbbz too, dude. All right, here. This is what Tipster told me today. It was the first time I heard about it, and then it came up a couple hours later.
Well, I've known for a while that Nick was content cop.
Do you have evidence for that?
Through a screen share, but
it slipped through a screen share.
Yeah.
Now, apparently, this was a screen share that only Bowblax saw. Nobody else was aware that this had occurred.
When did that happen?
In a call we were in.
A private call between you and Nick?
I recommend watching Nicholas DeOrio's latest
video.
What year did this
happen?
Well,
not private.
Bowblax was just being malicious when he said you were comment cop. But his reasoning as to why throughout this section of the stream got me thinking this guy is genuinely insane.
Well, yeah, but he keeps telling everybody that he's not manic anymore. You don't understand. He's no longer manic. That's the part that you're not getting. He's better now. You're actually the bigot.
It was in a group chat.
It was in a group chat?
Not a group chat, a server.
It was in a group chat. What kind of group chat? Discord group chat server. Discord group chat server. It was in a server. It was a public server. Or it was a private public server.
Which server?
The one that everyone hanged out. What was it?
It was that everyone hanged it out in the server. You know, everyone hanged it out in it.
I just saw Cabal tweet.
The Cabal. You mean Xylee's Cabal server?
Yes.
So was this in like 2024 or sorry 2023 or something?
2020. No, it was 2024.
2024. So Nick was screen sharing and he had login access to comment cops.
And keep in mind, Bowblax apparently found out that I snaked him privately, but it never came up again. He never mentioned it to me back then. He never claimed it when he was arguing with me. Like when we were having a fucking huge fight or whatever, he never at any point mentioned this to me. Like it's extremely weird. It's unbelievable for this to actually have gone down the way that he says.
So basically, like Nick accidentally did what you did with Throbbing Horsecock, where he was just switching Twitter accounts, and you saw a comment cop in there.
Yeah, it was like
Interesting.
Who else? Was anyone else on the call, or was it just you guys?
It was me and like a couple other people. I think it might. I don't.
He can't name who was in the call because nobody would vouch for him because it didn't happen.
Remember who though?
Do you remember like how?
Yeah, there was a ton of people in there. I just don't have a single name for you.
What you guys were talking about this time? Was it like a drama call or something?
No, it was like a random meme call. It was not a drama call.
So you guys were all just fucking around. Was it like...
Now it's a call again, not a Discord server. Discord servers aren't calls, they're chat rooms.
Chris the Narc in there, where it's like another YouTuber in there?
No, I don't think it was like another. Well,
it was one of those Discord meme group call chats.
Could have been like some guys from Now Recording, maybe, and like
Now Recording is implicated. So I need to hear from Matt Pitt. I need to hear from the Australian one, Mitch, maybe is Beavers. Can we get clarification? Did you see this? D-Max, I don't know if you were back there. D-Max will probably lie. We can't ask D-Max because he wasn't in these servers, but
people like that. So
Craig Beckett, were you in the call?
So they are content creators, but like,
did anyone notice what you noticed that Nick had revealed?
I don't know.
Are we playing semantics now? There's no argument. There's no evidence here. There is as much evidence right now that Saber. Yeah, I'll talk to you in ways that we could fucking Smaggle. You'll get this. There is as much evidence that I'm comment cop.
a virgin? No, I am not. Why would so many people be Googling that?
There is as much evidence that I am comment cop as there is that Saber Spark is currently a rapist. Okay? None. There's no evidence.
I have no idea. I was going to mention it. I was going to mention it, but then like I couldn't get the words in because they were like just kept talking. There's no space to talk, so I just I think I forgot about it and then just.
If this is 2024.
By the way, other random topic. This is like a random thing. One time, me and Augie and Bowblax were in a private call on Discord talking about something years ago. And Bowblax, for approximately 50 minutes, muted his microphone. And he just sat there quietly talking to us, and we were ignoring him. And he didn't realize that that he was muted. So eventually he unmutes, and he goes, dude, I was talking for like an hour. What the fuck? And we went, we didn't know where you went. And he thought that he was just being ignored for an entire hour while he sat there and spoke to people who didn't reference him.
Yeah.
Would this have contributed to why you were upset at Nick then, maybe in mid 2024 because you knew about this? Okay.
Yeah.
So when
okay. So now retroactively, when Bowblax had his big meltdown attacking me, right? He was mad that I was comment cop. It was a contributing factor. But if you go through all the messages, he never mentions it to me. He tells me some weird what is it? Like weird protagonist type argument where he was like the heir to the commentary throne and that people don't give him the respect he deserves. He talks all about destiny and all that other stuff, but it never came up in that conversation that I was comment cop, if that was one of the major reasons why he was mad at me. It was a contributing factor. He's got his main character syndrome started showing during his manic episode.
Appreciated the shout out. He lies like a little kid. If you are going to lie, at least be good at it. Dude, Jesus Christ.
I hate to say it, dude. I really hate to say it. But Tommy C was right again. Tommy doesn't miss. Bowblax is like unhinged and he is going to fucking lie. He is going to smear you. He is going to turn on you. Tommy just said it was going to happen at 100K, all right? It still might happen at 100K if Bowblax loses enough subscribers. He might be right retroactively.
And that's part of why... Yeah. Although, yeah.
I thought Bowblax was smarter than this. Then you should thank Nick DeOrio for being optics man and chief. Everyone made fun of me. All right, they're like, oh, Nick is the optics guy. Nick is the optics guy. What a fucking idiot. Nick is the optics guy. Where are all those guys now? I'm just curious. All the people who were like, oh, Nick's an optics guy. Where are they? How many people do they stream to? Or do they still stream at all?
Mr. Oreo.
I'm just curious. You guys thought Bowblax was smart. It sounds like he needed an optics guy for quite a while, don't you think? You thought that Bowblax was mildly intelligent? Sounds like something probably helped him along with that.
But I wasn't mentally ill when I found out about Content Cop, but I was when I decided to lash out. Right?
Is there any reason why you didn't?
Nicholas, the goat. Thank you for the $5, my man.
Oh, God. Is Edwin still making streams about how we're not friends anymore? How's Bowblax doing? Yeah.
Front him on it at the time in the DMs when you were lashing out?
I don't know. I don't remember.
So you basically this thing.
I was lashing out about a lot of things. There's a lot of things I did and didn't mention.
Yeah.
In that,
But like,
yeah, that's another thing. So, like, he can turn his mental illness off and on. Bowblax maintains throughout the course of this conversation that he had a manic episode and he's like better now. I don't think that's real. I don't think that's accurate. When did Bowblax's manic episode end?
Orbiter, Nick Oreo.
When did the
Mr.
mania
Oreo.
end and the intelligent discourse begin? I'm actually like so fucking confused right now. When did this occur?
Nicholas, the goat. Thank you for the $5, my man.
It wasn't enough of an impact for you, the fact that he had an alt account where he made like a video attacking you years ago. That didn't cross your mind at the time. It was more just, I guess the Destiny drama was recent on your mind or something.
Yeah, it was more about just like getting my frustrations and points out to him. And I didn't know, I guess.
Nicholas!
Thank you.
The goat. Thank you for the $5, my man.
If it ended, why is he not making like Twitter verses at like a decent rate?
It wasn't like necessary or relevant to bring up to me. To like get my point across, you know. But again, like I was like that was like peak like.
What the fuck was? Did you hear a train just now? Is Bowblax like calling in from a train station?
You were going through,
go back.
But again, like I was like. That was like...
Bowblax is calling in from a train station. What is happening?
Peak, like...
You were
one of
through,
peak
yeah.
craziness. Like,
This is like an...
Either that or like the fucking... A hockey team just scored.
Interesting.
Keffel's tweet on Nicholas DeOrio.
Keffel's appreciated the shout out.
It's the story train from Rick and Morty.
Makes any sense even to me now, you know?
This is such an interesting thing.
It's the crazy train. He's got the wheels on the crazy train.
For me to like listen to, because so if you, because in my mind, like you find out that Nick DeOrio is Comment Cop, like if I were you, I would have pressed him immediately because of...
It's not the train, it's the content wagon.
That video that Comment Cop made on you about the whole let me speak situation.
You know
like,
about that.
That would have been like the first thing on my mind, right? And I mean, I know you as a person. You do get very, hung up on videos that are made on you.
He's an extremely malicious, vindictive person. He had no problem with Keemstar. He was fine with sucking Keemstar's dick for years, up until the moment that Keem kicked him out of a group chat and was mean to him. Then all of a sudden it was, I'm gonna do Keemstar bully streams. Why is everyone afraid to criticize Keemstar? Everybody had to switch up on Keem because Bowblax got kicked out of a group chat.
I recommend
he did
watching
this constantly.
Nicholas DeOrio's latest video.
Nick, he's not in a train station. He's just in the tracks, moving along. Backpack on his back. No roof over him.
Guys, he's not foreclosed.
Or things like that. Like I did mention before, like you're very vindictive, right? So
yeah,
somebody with your
you're very vindictive, right? Yeah, I am. Yes, I am very vindictive.
Personality, especially. I mean, even somebody with my personality, I would have like instantly jumped on Nick and been like, "Oh, so you're a Comment Cop? Like, so you're the one that made that video on me?" Like instantly, yeah. I wouldn't be able to like talk to Nick without addressing like the elephant in the room in that situation, right? So it's just very...
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to go on an extremely fucking personal, like, how you actually feel rant about how you didn't get enough viewers after Augie left the commentary community without mentioning that I'm actually Comment Cop, the guy who stabbed you in the back years ago.
Very difficult for me to believe that you would just kind of notice that and, maybe you want to speak up. And
who the fuck just called him Hoblax? Hoboblax? Hoboblax? Well, Hoblax is just... Yeah, that's probably accurate. Hoboblax is if Bowblax is actually a hobo.
No, it's part of why I was angry. It was definitely on my mind. It was part of why I was angry at him. And it like me being angry at Nick was like the Comment Cop thing and like a bunch of combinations.
It's so convenient that he just never mentioned it.
Different things. And then
can someone fill me in on why Nick being Comment Cop is bad? So it's some weird own that like, because in his hypothetical, right, his incorrect hypothetical, if I am Comment Cop, that just means that I like created a second successful YouTube thing and Twitter thing mostly, away from my own branding and my own account. I was like good at this enough to do it twice without tying it directly to myself. But the reason why it would implicate me, I guess, is because Comment Cop called out Bowblax for DMCAing a YouTuber when their video was fair use, right? So that would mean that I backstabbed Bowblax because I criticized him publicly for it, and the audience said that I was a bad guy back then, which retroactively they've all changed that opinion, but whatever. And I needed to make an alt account to attack Bowblax again. Or something. It's some weird, psychotic hypothetical.
I addressed and ranted at him about some of them, but not all of them, I guess. So.
But even in your psychotic breakdown with
why, when we were friends, did it not come up, right? Before the psychotic break.
Nick in July.
That's what I'm talking about.
For lack of a better term, I'll try to be respectful. You know what I mean?
It was psychotic. I had a mental break.
Yeah, exactly.
But when did that end? When did the mental break end?
Even in that conversation, it never came up. Like when you're just like listing all of your grievances, because you list a lot of like stuff that's clearly been on your mind for a while. About how like, oh, I built this community. I deserve more fucking respect. You respect.
Like, do you for a minute think that Bowblax doesn't feel like he's entitled to Augie's audience when he left? I'm sorry. You can call it a manic episode. You can call it unhinged. I don't think he was bullshitting there. I really do think he's fucking angry that he streams to 100 people, and he was taking it out on me.
Like Destiny more than you respect me. You never mentioned Comment Cop, which is something else that has been. That at that point had been brewing in your mind.
Like, you don't think that part of this has something to do with the fact that, like, I was streaming and I had a successful, like, stream startup in the wake of Augie's channel not being there? You don't think that, like, a little bit of this could be some form of jealousy? I hate making arguments like that, but I feel like in this case it's probably pretty accurate.
Mind for months, like that, for some reason that you kept tucked away. But all this other
because
stuff...
people didn't want to hear him scream like a fucking idiot. The reality of the situation, what I keep trying to drive home, is that Bowblax is not an interesting person. Bowblax is not very talented. I'm not super talented at streaming, but I like to think that I give a more entertaining night than he does whenever he's live. And I don't really have to, I guess, defend that position without just pointing you directly to, like, his YouTube channel. Go look at, like, Bowblax's... Twitter versus episodes and stuff. I feel like the ones recently where he's tried to like insert his opinions are doing worse than the ones where he just shuts up and reads the tweets. He was always insecure about not being the face of his content. When you take an easy like niche or whatever just to get ahead, and you do like your Twitter versus thing that you're not actually happy with, but you do it because it grows you an audience, and then you fail at convincing them that you are worth watching, that's not everybody else's fault. It's not my fault that you did what you did and made your channel the way that you made your channel and then found out that nobody actually is interested in anything you really have to say. That's not my fault. It's the unfortunate reality of the situation, but there's nothing I can do about it. You just have to keep trying or give up. And at this point, giving up is probably the better option.
Stuff that you had been...
How old is Bowblax again? My age. Yeah, this is not a 15-year-old. This is not an 18-year-old. This is not a 22-year-old. Bowblax is like 28 years old, dude. This is a fucking grown man. All right? He acts like a child. He's probably smoked himself into like some kind of brain disease or something. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he's perpetually a child. Maybe he's locked in, you know? I don't know. But yeah, no, he's a 28-year-old man. Yeah.
Had been brewing for months. All that came out. I mean, I just personally, I find that extremely hard to believe.
I'll say this, because yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. Did you tell anyone this revelation that you had, or that you saw? Sorry.
No.
Oh, wow! I just saw it. I can't tell you who was there with me, and I never told a soul about it.
Very secret.
Okay, because it's confusing because like obviously you say you and I talked a lot, which we did, and sometimes you told me about the whole conversation you had with Nick.
People are saying maybe he is just crazy, and I feel like that's possible. Like, I can't believe he's getting on a stream and just lying like this. It's like awkward. His story makes no sense, and he's just pushing through. Maybe he is completely delusional.
Nick later, I think after it happened, I believe we had either a call about it or a message about it. I can't remember what exactly, but
I don't have the shame to do this. Well, I'm sorry, I would have too much shame to do this. I would not be able to sit here with a straight face and just lie uncontested for 30 minutes straight.
You didn't bring that up to me. You didn't bring it up to Augie. You didn't bring it up to maybe, I don't know, your Trashy Trio friends, King of Nothing. You didn't tell King of Nothing about this? Like, no one?
Surely you had to tell somebody, Bowblax, this crazy unveil.
I haven't talked to King of Nothing since, like, before July.
Well, I know, but you and King of Nothing were friends, like, when him and Nick were beefing, right? And so no one in your sphere or no one in your friend group, you never decided to say it until you publicly made this accusation a couple weeks ago.
Well, I don't tell them. I mean, we don't really talk about YouTube drama that much.
Well, this is.
I mean, it's possible that Bowblax didn't tell anybody because he doesn't have any friends.
Nicholas, the goat. Thank you for the $5.
And didn't have any friends. That's possible. Maybe he just didn't have anyone to tell. I mean, that could be. I mean, it's mean, but it could be accurate.
Less YouTube drama, more just like something that's personally bothering you.
Yeah,
right.
And it is like
that a friend of yours.
I mean, I will say, yeah, if Nick is comment cop, that is like crazy. That is crazy.
What's the name of the guy? Keemstar Orbiter, Nick Oreo, Mr. Oreo.
I think Shelbo's got it a bit more together than Bowblax. I mean, listen, guys, we like to say that Shelbo is like a black Bowblax. Okay. Never forget that Bowblax was scammed out of thousands of dollars from cryptocurrency by someone who claimed that they were shutting his bank account down. All right, never forget that did actually happen to Bowblax. It wasn't Razor gift cards. He wasn't married to Pokimane, but he was fixated on her. Okay.
Oh yes,
objectively, that is wild.
Well, I mean, it would be wild if Nick was comment cop because that would mean he'd be like lying about stuff like that, and it would be just be like, okay, this is kind of weird that you have this weird alter.
Like, there's a lot of little subtle connections you can make between him and Shelbo 99. I think there are more. It becomes unsettling the more you think about it, but there are quite a few comparisons you can come to.
Ego that
are pretty reasonable.
Exists or something like
you
that,
made this
right?
video and you denied it too. Yeah, I would agree.
Obviously,
that's nuts, but.
I would rather have a drink with Shelbo too. I mean, there's a risk he would kill you, because the voices told him to. But I would risk death with Shelbo rather than talk to Bowblax.
New Bobby Meltdown? Massive news, let's go.
Yes!
You saw that as
well, what I talk about in my personal life and with other people, like...
Oh my god. Wait, there were witnesses. They're all Bowblax's personal offline friends, dude. We hadn't even considered this option. The only people who knew about this are his personal offline friends. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's... Some people knew about it, but not anyone, like, online, because, like...
Yeah, I told everyone who wouldn't be able to, like, fucking testify publicly with credibility. Everyone who couldn't possibly come on stream to tell you that it's real.
It's not something I wanted to, like, share that I knew, because it's, like, kind of like,
whoa,
tell Nick is comment cop, you know? And I was still...
We constantly talked in private about who comment cop was. We all speculated it was John Swan. It was like a joking thing that we would talk about, right? It's not like a fucking slur. Yeah, if you found out that I was comment cop, you'd go, wait, Nick is comment cop? It would sound just like that.
Like, friendly with Nick, like, in those psychotic DMs, like, you even see me...
Look how friendly I was when I was psychotic to Nick.
Me say stuff like, or see me say stuff like, oh, Nick, we're still best friends if you want to be, or whatever I said, or what have you.
And he was saying that whilst he thought that I was conspiring against him for years.
Not that I think he's my best friend, or thought he was my best friend, but I don't know, whatever. I said that stuff, and I didn't want to, like, expose him, because I know if it comes out publicly that he's comment cop, it looks bad on him, considering he made that video on me.
I think it's Colossal, you said? If it was Colossal and he's been, like, secretly involved in all of our YouTube drama for the last couple of years, that would be really funny, but I don't think it is, because I think comment cop has been hard on Pyro, right? So it can't be Clown either.
So, of course, I didn't want to, like, tell and, like, you know, have that get out, because I was still having, like, Nick's best interest in mind.
So
well, obviously with the drama that's with, like...
Wait, my best interest? Thank you, Bowblax. I really appreciate you for having my best interest the entire time. What the fuck is going on?
That's not the case anymore, right? So, he's comment cop, you know?
I mean...
You didn't ask for it. We didn't prove it, but you're comment cop.
I guess I'm just curious what pushed you over the line then decide to reveal this information that no one online knew.
Me over the line was how he
I really like you.
Why?
Shared personal information about me online that was gathered.
Okay, so now I've doxed him, chat. The evidence of me doxing him is very funny.
I really like you.
We will be talking about this, and I've got some stuff to show you, but now I've doxed him. That's the reason why. He has smeared me as comment cop.
In ways.
Hey, Nicholas DeOrio.
It was, like, spread online and shit.
But, like, nothing else, no other coverage of Nick before that.
This is just insane to me.
Well, no other coverage of Nick did.
Well, yeah, obviously him, like, leaking my personal, like, finance shit pissed me off more than like anything else that he's done up to the point.
Maybe you shouldn't have begged me for money and then went completely crazy and lied about like your fucking PPD. Yeah, of course, dude. At that point, we're gonna start talking about all the fucking shit you were telling us if you're not being fucking fair. And again, keep in mind, we trickled that shit. We did not release everything at once. It was a shock to everybody on the fucking New Year's stream when Chud blurted out that there were fucking dress pictures that existed. We leaked exactly what we needed to leak to explain our arguments as to why we weren't being around you anymore and why the things you were doing were fucking crazy. And you then took it upon yourself to smear me as somebody who outed your sexuality before you had to delete it. In the message where you outed your own sexuality.
The guy.
It's fucking, it's unreal.
Nick Oreo. Mr. Oreo.
Yeah, I'm gonna be more mad that that got
real possible is that comment cop is actually Bunty King.
That would be funny, but I don't think Bunty King is still around.
Leaked and like it's him saying like I'm cringe,
well,
you
okay,
know,
well,
or like a horror cow or whatever.
Well, here's something you did accuse him of as well.
Dude, he's referencing specific thumbnails now. Horror cow.
Well, you accused him of outing you as non-binary, which was a lie.
Because I don't even know what that means. I use it in a thumbnail because it looks funny. Bowblax is a horror cow.
And I don't know if you corrected the record on that.
No,
why
did I say that?
Yes, you said in a tweet that was deleted
sure
that he outed you as non-binary. And
I
so
said I
when
felt
you accuse him of that, how can we trust you that
I'm pretty sure I said I felt pressured into coming out as non-binary because to explain
what's the name
drama
of the guy Keemstar Orbiter?
because like the drama
thank you
Mr. Oreo
was about the non-binary tweet, so I felt pressured into being forced to come out in.
This is so fucking crazy, dude. Like, this guy just keeps lying. I felt pressured.
The drama because like the drama was about the non-binary tweet, so I felt pressured.
The drama was about the non-binary tweet, so I had to out myself and blame you for it. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
To being forced to come out in order to share that DM to give the context of what was going on. So I didn't say Nick forced me into coming.
Wait, I don't even think that's fucking accurate. Wait, no. Dude, I don't even know what dude, he lies so much retroactively. I don't even know where I'd look to find evidence of this. Hold on. Playlist. Bowblax related videos. Let me scroll. I don't know what stream this was. Why I hate Bowblax full leaked messages exposed. Is that it? Or is it... Oh, dude, let me see. Hold on. Because I was still kind of... Let me see.
I just saw Keffel's tweet.
Oh, like a binary.
On Nicholas DeOrio.
Keffel's appreciated the shout out.
Advice I gave him. Not that one. Oh no, this is after. Fuck. I literally... It exists, I promise. He lied. I confronted Bowblax on his lie. Is it this one? Nope, not that one. Binary. Oh. No, that's the deleted your non-binary people are valid tweet. It has to be this one. Non-binary. Said Meltdown, come out as non-binary. What is non-binary? Okay, dude, look at this. Hold on. I don't. We're doing this. Here, we have to play this. This is the context. I did a sponsor on this one too. Fine. Every one of these videos is sponsored. Free. A long one tonight. I mean, it's going to be a long segment, but it's not going to be a long stream. Ladies and gentlemen, Bowblax just made the biggest mistake of his entire life. I don't. We're doing this right now. This is happening right now. Chat. What the f is this? What the f is this, dude? So the optics check is, bro, I would stop tweeting stuff like that. You randomly tweeting about non-binary people being valid does not make people be valid. You're using the correct pronouns in a video while other people, misgendered people, will make them feel valid. Tweeting trans rights is infinitely less valuable than just treating trans people like normal human beings in your actual content. That's why people are saying you're virtue signaling. And then he says, I'm non-binary. That's why I tweeted it. I told Slacker 3 years ago. So then he tweets, by the way, this is the optics check I was screaming at Nick about. I didn't want to come out as non-binary, but I feel like I have to now because screaming at Nick about optics checks is more unhinged without the context. If you tell me that he's not using this as a sword to attack me, I don't know. Like, this optics check is entirely reasonable. Dude, I'm sorry. You don't get to, like, if you just tweet out non-binary people are valid, tee-hee ha-ha, or whatever on Twitter, it's infinitely less validating to non-binary people than just treating them like normal human beings using the proper pronouns, and when you're covering dramas, be a little sympathetic to their cause.
What's the name of the guy?
So he's just like, by the way, guys, Nick's forced me to out myself.
Oreo.
I have to out myself. All right. We were about halfway down. Josh has removed my strings. I have nothing restraining me. I can just tell you what happened now. There's no reason to sit here and do 15 more streams, leaking another little... So we didn't push this stuff. It wasn't relevant to why we were mad at him. His explanation doesn't make any sense. And then he's just like, here, guys, I'm he Kevin Spacey'd us. That's what he Kevin Spacey'd us on the stream.
Out.
You think the porn outed him? No, the porn hadn't happened yet.
Nicholas, the goat. Thank you for the $5.
I felt forced by the situation to reveal that info in order to explain the situation.
Did that situation make any more sense to anybody?
And obviously, in hindsight, I didn't need to do that, but that's
at least he agrees.
What I felt pressured for. So it's my responsibility.
So will you correct the record that Nick, nothing in that situation had anything to do with your identity or your non-binariness? That has no connection to anything that involved with your meltdown with Nick. So will you correct the record that was incorrect?
Other than, like, you know, the tweet about that I got mad at Tom about being like the non-binary, like that being the subject matter of that little exchange, obviously. But besides that, no, it's like pretty much irrelevant.
Wait, hold on. Nicholas DeOrio in chat says, hey, so Bowblax straight up lied. Tipster reached out to me today to tell me the fake comment cop Xylee's server story hours ago. He absolutely told other people.
Yeah, he reached out to Tipster, right? And he had told Tipster, and Tipster confirmed this with me, that Bowblax had gone to him to let him know that I was comment cop, and he had seen it in a Discord. So Bowblax didn't even remember that he had already told this to Tipster.
Nick says Twitter DMs are down.
Bobby is calling Augie a Nazi on Twitter right now. Is that accurate? Wow, he must be watching the stream.
Law enforcement. We love DeOrio. He's important.
I am the comment cop, obviously.
Right now, but
I told people about how I found out about comment cop after I tweeted about it publicly.
Okay, this is post reveal. So
that's
when
all
did
post
you talk
reveal.
to Tipster about it?
Yeah, when did you talk to Tipster?
He DM'd me. He asked me if it was really like.
Oh my god! What the fuck, dude? Oh my god! Look at this, dude. Bowblax is crashing out on Twitter right now. Holy shit! You're so high off your own farts that you didn't notice the person you're trying to argue with said bye and left 3 minutes ago. Why were you at this Nick Fuentes event, Augie? If you support Nick Fuentes, please unfollow me. Jesus Christ, this is amazing. This is awesome.
True, like, I think the day of me tweeting it.
And so you said this story, you said the story the same day. But
yeah,
you're saying that before you outed it publicly, you never told anyone.
Yes.
Interesting.
Interesting.
I mean, it just seems like, I don't know, to me, it just seems like that is the...
Wait, like, did Bowblax forget that Augie streamed on fucking Cozy TV? Did he not realize that, like, his payment processor was Nick Fuentes for a little while? When he was friends with Augie and Flamenco? Are these new principles that Bowblax has that he can't associate with anybody who's ever associated with Nick Fuentes before?
Golden...
Bowblax always creates new principles at the most convenient times.
Card for you to play against Nick, and I don't know why.
Wait, Bowblax was on a stream with Nick Fuentes?
On Nicholas DeOrio.
Keffels appreciated the shout out.
Is that true? Was he on a stream with Nick Fuentes?
Would have waited for so long to say that.
Well, out of all of your grievances, like that you had with Nick over,
am I the only one who's not implicated in that? That's so fucking funny, dude. I'm literally the only fucking person who's not implicated.
Summer. This is like one that could be legitimate.
Yeah,
right?
Again, like I said, if Nick was Comic Cup, I would be like, whoa, that's crazy.
But it's like instead you play all these other cards that's like, Nick, I mean, I forget what exactly you were.
Non-binary.
Well,
Nick,
yeah, exactly. You use a bunch of bullshit instead of like alleged
come out as non-binary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never had an issue.
I mean, yeah, that is why people call into other streams and not mine. It's like, remember when Death Noodles went after Augie because he could sit there and call him racist for an hour instead of just come on with me back when we were fighting? It's the same thing. It's the same argumentation.
Oh, hugely with Nick until like he just keeps going on with this coverage of me where to the point of like leaking my
So we're gonna get into the doxing claim now that he immediately walks back and says wasn't doxing, just to be clear. Yeah, this is actually what you don't seem to understand, Bowblax, is this is a form of milieu control. It's cult psychology from Dr. Robert J.
What's the name of the guy? Keemstar Orbiter, Nick Oreo, Mr. Oreo.
Nicole Lips. When are you going to reveal you're on the Northrop Grumman payroll? Why didn't you tell me? The B-2 Raiders have officially been sent back home.
I don't
Welcome
even
back, Italian Stallion.
Bro, I don't even know who Northrop Grumman is, but thank you. Thank you so much.
information and stuff like that, and then like
Yeah, dude, it's milieu control, sourced by Nicholas J. fucking Fuentman, dude.
even before that a bit. But like during the whole like craziness, like yeah, I was mad at him, but it was like mad.
Like obviously, I'm not transphobic. Bowblax can be whatever he can be whatever he wants. That he can even be a bee, okay? Whatever he feels like, all right? And if he feels like being, this is not our world, but he can be bees. He can live for 30 years. This is good news.
Because I want to get over it and continue being his friend, not in the way I am now, where it's like, fuck Nick, I'm never going to be his friend again type shit, you know?
Interesting. And when you say personal information...
By the way, the day I fucking started referencing the bee meme, I did get stung by a bee that day, and it still fucking hurts. So that's funny as shit, dude.
Are you talking about the segment he did on the...
Bad news, because he only has 3 years left. Don't wish that upon him.
What is it? The house?
The house stuff.
Okay, so like a public court document, basically.
Can I say something to you, Nick?
Yeah,
really
except
like-
you have to you
Why?
have to like pay to like find it, and you have to like manually search it up. It was
I'll
like
get that
private
after.
info that you can bring up publicly, sure,
If you're gonna-
but that's you know.
If you're gonna get the new Mando skin, use code Dioro on the Fortnite item shop.
People can look up info of people online and like find people's last names and find people's
Oh, notice he says last names here. Interesting.
bring up
Interesting.
publicly, sure, but that's you know people can look up info of people online and like
Dude, this guy's acting like I went through white pages to find his home address.
find people's last names and find people's addresses or what have you. You
Right.
know, just because you can do it doesn't mean you.
Chat, do you know what he's talking about? Do you have any idea what Bowblax is talking about? That I've doxed him, I've looked up his personal information, I've published it to people. Does anybody here know what he's trying to argue? It's extremely funny.
Should dig in and then share that info out, right?
Right. Was
And I know he censored a bunch of shit, but like, you know, he continued with sharing that alongside the people who.
Let me see. Can we pull up the picture of what I have shared? I need to show you guys what I shared of Bowblax. Off of Twitter. This is off of Twitter. This is off the Drama Alert Twitter account. I showed the court services online, the Toronto Dominion Bank versus Bowblax, Supreme foreclosure. I talked about his house being foreclosed. A public court document from British Columbia. That's what this is. That's what this document is. It's a public court record. And if Bowblax is aiming to say that this is considered doxing, even though, again, the Drama Alert account that had posted this blacked it out. I think there's another instance of me talking about it here. Yeah, it's this one. This is my screenshot that I brought. Joshua, the Toronto Dominion Bank versus, and that's his last name, which is public. Supreme foreclosure, Abbotsford Law, whatever, and then like the dates that it was filed. This is what I showed. The fact that there was a document, and then it was tweeted out by the Drama Alert account.
You know, didn't censor it and stuff, so.
So Bowblax is now going to pretend that he's never covered court documents before. And then when he gets called out on that, he'll move the goalpost.
Yeah, so your name is already public, right? And I believe your YouTube, I think, even used to be in.
Actually, in that video, fuck, I should have had it. In post, I went back and I added a clip of Bowblax using his own name, just so people knew that, like, I didn't have to censor that. So is he mad because I leaked information about him, or is he mad that, like, sure, I made fun of him for being homeless? Or getting his house foreclosed, rather, is probably the more accurate term. I don't know why this is an issue. I don't understand. Like, everybody knew Bowblax's name.
Damn, I'm glad I'm Joshua Christians and not Joshua Moon.
I think searching for someone's full name on court, like, he's not even saying searching someone's full name. It's looking up, like, a public full name on public documents. And I'm not trying to find their personal info, and I don't think that person was trying to find it either. Bowblax, so it's just like, what's the problem? What did I do wrong?
Your Twitter. Your
You said your last Nick, everybody knows my last name's public.
Well, here's the thing. It's like
last name, dumbass.
Anyone can look up, if you have somebody's like name, your full name, and the general city that you live in, right? Anyone can look up public record documents or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like if somebody's
But
like,
I didn't publish his address. That's not the point of the message.
he has like a DUI or something like that, right? I mean,
His full name was on the list of emails he leaked as well.
anyone can like look that up. If I know, like,
It's his dead name. I think his last name is still his name, even if that first name is his dead name.
fucking, I don't know.
Nicholas DeOrio, New York.
Yeah, Nicholas DeOrio, New York City. Like, if he has any fucking documents that exist of him where he's ever been like fucking
Yeah, but if those
sued or something
documents
like
have
that.
like private information on it, like,
Unfortunately for you, Bowblax, they were censored.
Well, at that point, the information
It's not private if
isn't
it's a
private
public
anymore. It's
document,
public.
right?
but it's still like my address that can get doxxed. It's still my address. Like, don't
He has sourced Kiwi Farms before in videos. This is such a peculiar argument.
you see like the harm in a bunch of people online knowing my address and other information about me, even if it came out through a public document?
What
that
was
you
your
can only
address
do.
on it?
What, did he show it?
Nick didn't show it, but
Oh my god, dude, come on!
like
So
other
the-
people who got the information, the base source of it has like information like that.
So
on
here's
it,
my
yeah.
question then. Like, are you saying...
So I'm bad because other people are worse? And by the way, I didn't search this shit up. I got it too, like everybody else did. When I got it, it was censored.
like people like Turkey Tom or people who cover Kiwi Farms or content on there are just as guilty because you may have information that is on that website. Like if Turkey Tom does a video about you and he covers what someone said in your Kiwi Farms thread, is Turkey Tom now doxing you and revealing your personal information on stream?
No, but I can dislike him for it.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, no, it's not doxing, guys. I just don't like him anymore. He's just a bad dude. He's a bad dude.
Okay, but
I didn't say Nick doxed me. I said,
Oh, I never used the word dox explicitly. I just heavily implied it. Yeah, goalpost successfully shifted.
I just got my DNA test back. Turns out I'm 3.8% Neanderthal. Homo sapiens literally did the Omni-Man. What will you have after 500 years? Meme to my people. Rip Grandpa Grug.
Jesus Christ.
Question though.
No,
I can't believe that you are currently 3.8% Bowblax.
him of revealing your personal information on stream, and this was the impetus for you revealing content.
no, sharing the revealed information.
This is good news. You can be fucking...
Someone doxed me. And
Your skeleton is 3.8% different than everyone else.
And Nick shared
Thank you for hitting the roll, by the way.
information from that
Well,
dox.
it's not a dox if it's a public record.
Wait,
I mean,
you've shared
the fucking-
information that is associated with the docs, dude. We have to spread this thing so fucking wide to condemn me. It's actually comical. He spread information that, by the way, is public. A court record is public. We have talked about, thank you so much, Jesus, 20 gifted. But we've talked about this on multiple occasions, right? I'm going to do my best to cover it up, but if I pull up a court record on stream, it's a public court record. Everyone has access to this. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Don't get sued next time, you know? Here.
Government.
It's the same outcome. My address got. It's the same outcome.
I mean, what address? I thought your house was getting foreclosed. Wait, why didn't they ask that? Like, can you get doxxed if it was like, I don't know. Apparently, it was resolved in some way, shape, or form, is what he says now.
Information got out. Just because, like, you can look it up. But I could probably find a bunch of information about you if I just started, like...
Hey, Augie, you don't like my position? I could dox you. I could dox you right now, Augie. I could dox you right in this exact moment. Would you like that, Augie? Would you be happy if I dox you right now while we're on stream?
Absolutely could, but that's the thing. It's like,
should I start like saying it on this stream and shit?
Well, no. The thing is though, it's like if there's a public document of mine that exists or whatever, right, that people can retrieve, I just have to eat crow at that point. That's just how the fucking world works. You know what I mean?
It's your L.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like that's what I get for telling people my full name and the city that I live in.
And you're a public figure.
You know,
and you have a public court document.
Yeah, when you're a public figure, you do.
Here's an idea, Bowblax. If you don't want people talking about you getting foreclosed, why don't you pay your fucking rent? Why don't you post a few videos so you can afford to pay your fucking rent? And deal with whatever situation you're saying your mom was suing you or something, whatever the fuck that was. Like extra retarded Emily, extra chromosome Emily. Jesus, why don't you just pay your bills?
Like lose some of that basic right to privacy, right?
So if people were sharing around Nick DeOrio's docs, is that like okay?
If
like
he had
people,
a court
But no, I'm not I didn't share your docs. This never happened.
Videos and stuff.
Well, if it was a court document.
But no, his name is fully out there. People found his address and everything just by his name being Nicholas DeOrio and him saying he lives in New York, Long Island. That's enough info for people to find his docs, and people ended up doxing him off it. Is that now like? Is it okay if people like talk about that and share because it's out there? You know,
Nick didn't look up Bowblax's address and then read your address on stream. That's like what you're saying. The equivalent is if Nick.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Let me.
Dude, he's like snickering. Like, no, you don't understand. You don't understand. If I just say the right form of, if I can just say the right order of words, you'll understand. Okay? No, I'm actually right. You just have to let me say it the right way. Right? I can't navigate these conversations super well. Can you just let me say the correct combination of words? Come on, dude.
To answer your question, if Nick had a court document against him that his house is getting foreclosed on, and you decided to fire up,
that was him about to cry. No, he's about to ult. He doesn't ult in this, but he's about to ult, and you can tell.
A Male Monkey Bully stream, you censored the address and you said, Nick's getting his house foreclosed on.
That would be bad. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't even, if that happened at Tipster, I wouldn't have done that.
Dude, Bowblax just would not cover court documents ever, chat. Ever. He would never cover court documents on stream. It would be so malicious if he did.
Oh, okay. That is a lie.
100%. Just like how I did. Just like how I say like that. The docs of where he like
absolutely would have done that.
But there was literally a situation during my Tipster bully like stuff, like during the year or so I did it, where something came out about like Tipster's job and like where he worked and shit. And like people were covering it. Like I think Chris and Ark did a thing on it and other people, and I didn't cover it. So that's an example of an equivalent.
Well, I mean,
and Chris is saying that he covered it. Apparently Chris didn't cover it either, and I don't even know what he's talking about. I have no idea what he's talking about the Tipster stuff. But the funniest part is people are going to look it up because he just gave that example. He literally just fucking brought up Tipster's job. Unprompted. And none of us know what he's talking about.
I mean,
it's private information. I want to bully his content, not, you know, where he works or what his finances are or whatever.
I remember watching Chris cover it in private, so I guess we talked about this privately.
I'm bullying him and his fat ass and how he acts.
I'm thinking of like old situations, whatever, right? Like with Def Noodles. Like,
keep in mind, when every time Bowblax calls like me or Tipster a fat ass, I just want you to know that he was so wildly insecure about the way that he looks. He got mad when people didn't say Augie was fat when he came back from his hiatus. Okay? He was legitimately upset that people didn't spam Augie's chat calling him fat. Just to be clear.
People, like when commentary was going in on Def Noodles, they found like old stuff about his previous divorce and like his previous marriages and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I never covered that.
I mean, if you have that standard, I guess, and you've been consistent on that.
Dude, how many times was he talking about Tipster's wife? Tipster, in chat, can you give me like an estimated times that Bowblax talked about your wife on stream? Just to be clear, if we're all good guys now, okay? Bowblax could never do any wrong. How many times did he talk about your wife, Tipster?
That then,
if you've never,
I did. You'll never catch me saying I didn't do it. I talked about it.
Forever revealed any kind of personal information about anyone ever.
But I mean, at the same time,
okay, no, Connor. We made the establishment.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, that's the standard.
There's
right?
not ever any.
No idea, but it was a lot. Wow, Tipster. Wow. And by the way, Bowblax is getting more aggressive right now. He's going aggressive mode.
Information ever.
Yeah,
but
you're saying that
me
you've
covering
never-
Anisa talking about Ian shitting in like a clip is not the same as what we're talking
No,
about. Don't say
you know,
anything ever. You're
personal
being
Oh my, he's so mad. I love this. I love this for him.
hyperbolic. You're being
I'm very
hyperbolic.
Dude, Bo Rage, dude. Rage Blacks.
like personal information. So
No.
you're holding yourself to the standard. You never talk about this person.
And he's arguing like he's got the moral authority. That's the best part. That's the craziest part of this clip is he's arguing like he has the moral authority to be making these arguments right now.
information, doxing information ever. You've never done something that could possibly lead to someone's dox in your entire internet history, and if you have, you would see this point to Nick.
Yeah, like using
Dude,
Kiwi
the
farms
way you were
as-
talking, there's no way in any circumstance ever over the.
See, so you don't.
Uh-oh. He's tapping into his feral. He's using his feral traits.
15 years of content you have
You
ever
lost.
made where you. I mean,
Okay.
I might have read
Yeah, you
out a
lost.
tweet that could have been information.
You
I
lost.
don't remember. I've made so.
Oh, guys, I might have been a hypocrite, but that must have been like 5 years ago. I don't even remember doing that. I could never do that nowadays.
Nicholas, the goat. Thank you for the $5.
I'm actually
my
gonna
man.
just sit here and watch this, and I know what's gonna happen because I call in. And I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna even attempt to defend myself on this argument, and you're gonna watch it in real time.
Say something to you, Nick.
So much content we made.
I'm just gonna point out every time Bowblax says something funny, and then it's all gonna loop back around.
Like I made like 6 years of drama content. You know that
6 years of drama
the
content.
fucking slimy little.
It's not slimy.
Say,
It's
like,
the point is that you're holding the standard.
It
You are
100%.
doing drama content. That's the truth. And the truth about drama
So
content,
I'm
being a public
supposed-
figure. No, the truth about drama content,
It's
being
a
a public
standard
figure.
I've always had.
It's a standard that Bowblax has always had. He has always had this standard that you do not interact with legal court documents because they always contain identifying information in them.
Is there content that maybe breaks that standard in the past I made? I have no fucking clue.
This has always been a standard, but it might have been something I was hypocritical on in the past, but I don't know if I actually was. But it's always been my standard.
too, but it's a standard I've personally had this whole time. Maybe like my definition of what is.
My definition might have changed, but I can assure you, this has always been my standard.
There isn't that has like matured over time or what have you.
I've matured over time, almost 30. His maturity meter has gone up.
But
Or is it just
so
convenient
maybe
when
there's a video
no one
like
is?
He's probably frantically searching his YouTube page. Maybe there's a video from like 5 years ago where I did that. But listen, it's always been my prerogative. I've changed nothing.
5 years ago that I made where I
Okay, fine. All right, it never happened except for that one video 5 years ago. Okay.
read out a tweet where it had a certain thing and I wouldn't do that today or whatever. But generally, yes, I have stuck.
But rest assured, he would not do that today.
Standard just sounds like it's impossible to use Kiwi Farms as a source because when I
Yeah.
go to somebody's front page on Kiwi Farms, it lists their name and their address.
I've never used
Yeah, my words might have changed, but my heart stayed the same.
delete all-
My heart will go on.
Wait, you've never used Kiwi Farms as a source?
Except for in one video.
I have. Wait.
Turkey Tom should delete a front page on Kiwi Farms.
Oh my god, I'm done. That's crazy.
It lists their name and their
This is an insane sentence.
address.
I've never
so
used
Turkey
Kiwi
Tom
Farms
should
as a
delete all his
source.
videos.
I've never used Kiwi Farms as a source. All right, let's play.
Yes.
Wait, you've never used Kiwi Farms as
Wait, gets called on it?
a source?
Except for in one video.
Except one time. Then I did it in one time, but I've never done it before, except for the one time that I did it. This guy lies so fucking easily, and it's never convincing. It's actually insane to break this guy's fucking conversation down. Never, not even once, except that one time.
Which was the Sonic pooping, like poopy diaper.
So
like,
you're
he
against using
pooped in his,
Kiwi Farms as a source because it can lead
I'm not
to like unethical
against
sharing.
it. I just haven't personally ever done it because I don't
Twitter
like
versus Onision's
that
court
website.
here.
I missed Tippy's chat. What did Tippy say? I'll check. Oh, here it is. The person who doxed me was active in Bowblax's chat and Discord server, so it's odd that he claims to have the moral high ground not covering it because he was okay with that being in his chat. I don't know who that is. If you can text me who that is, I would like to make sure I don't have them in my chat.
Hearing? That's a little bit interesting. Wait, what is this? Twitter versus Onision's court hearing. Oh, wait. Let me send this to you.
I might have went on Kiwi Farms a little bit for that. I'm not sure.
Hold on.
Generally, I don't
wait,
use
is this a
Kiwi
court
Farms as a
document of
source. I use
Onision?
Twitter as a
Wait,
source.
hold on. What is this? I just
And
didn't
if
see
it
log. If you
links
want
to
to pull it
Kiwi
up.
Farms, I'll use it, but I don't generally
Well,
use
is
Kiwi
this
Farms as a
Kai
source.
Jackson, James Jackson?
Oh my! All right. So now they pull up, and it just happens to be they found the video from 5 years ago, right? So they found the Onision video. Where's the Onision one? I don't even have it. I didn't even have it queued up. So he went through an Onision lawsuit thing. Let me see. Who sent this one to Connor? Did I send this to Connor? Yeah, I did. I sent it to Connor. Onision took...
What's the name of the guy? Keemstar Orbiter? Nick Oreo. Mr. Oreo.
So it's clear he was searching this up. That's why the 5 years ago thing came up. But dude, you open the video, it's court fucking stuff with like names on here. Onision took Chris Hansen to court for knocking on his door, and Repsion. Wouldn't you be like embarrassed if this was you? On to court for making videos about him. Yeah. Literally, not first 5 seconds. It's 00 that we're looking at right here. So that's the one that they find now.
They're full.
I can't pull this up because I'm not logged into my Discord.
We're getting into like really weird, like nitty gritty. Like,
no, this is not the nitty gritty. This is your argument. This is exactly where we should be.
50% Bowblaxian, and Anissa's husband is 80% Bowblaxian.
Is it?
They all love to cry and scream on stream for our enjoyment.
Is it censored? Well, it has full names on it, so you be the judge of that. James Jackson, Kai Jackson. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. If I covered this, it would look exactly the same. This is like it's a public court document. What am I supposed to do here? Anybody can look this up. Why am I going through and individually censoring a public court document? And some of that stuff does come redacted in some regard. So I don't know. I wouldn't be fucking censoring a public court document. I wouldn't be spending my time doing that. Send your friend request in Discord so I can DM you. Tipster, you could just text it to me on Twitter, but I will accept your friend request. Onision took... Jesus Christ. But yeah, no, it has names on it for sure.
5 years ago, you went on Kiwi Farms.
Oh God.
I can't pull this up because I'm not logged into my...
Sky Jackson? No, Kai Jackson. That's Onision's husband.
Discord.
We're getting into like really weird, like nitty gritty. Like, ooh,
this isn't nitty gritty though.
5 years ago, you went on Kiwi Farms and
Ooh! Ooh!
Kiwi Farms does something.
It's testing
now
your...
we're getting into this and this and this.
Ooh!
Well, it's testing your standard because you want privileges that, as a public figure, you've already.
My standard is what I've uploaded in my content.
My standard, guys. His standard is what he's uploaded in his content. By the way, in his content, these are his standards. Just to be clear, judge him by his content, not by his words.
As of
except for the times that he's not followed his standard.
From the first second of the video on stream, can you? Oh, you're not logged into.
I'm not logged into my Discord, so I can't.
You're logged into my
up.
Discord, right?
I think.
Is it Twitter versus Onision court sharing?
I just sent it to myself.
I think I set the standard with the tipster example.
I think I set my standard with the tipster example. Dude, this guy came with one example and was completely unprepared for anyone to say anything else. Like, oh, we can agree to disagree. He doesn't believe the tipster thing. Keep in mind, the tipster stuff was 2 years ago, right? It was at least 2 years old. So that means we can't find any evidence in the last 2 years of Bowblax doing this, or he's a hypocrite.
All right.
Well, no,
that's something other people covered, and then I don't. So that's like generally, like I guess the line, right?
Well, what about this Onision?
I was going
video
all
right
in
here?
on tipster.
Nick says play the first couple of seconds of this.
Play the first couple seconds. Okay, I'll share it. I'll share it. Here, 1 second. How do I do that? Share screen. Okay.
So this is the first. Oh, is this an address? Wait, what address is that?
It's the court address, Connor. Thank you.
Room 239, Tacoma, West.
If nobody's house has a room number, okay, Connor?
It's probably a courtroom address.
Is that a courtroom address? Okay.
It's probably.
So it's names.
Took Chris Hansen. But would Bowblax deem a courtroom a dox too? Because it's an address. The court for knocking on his door.
Wait, yeah, so the address of the
court for
courtroom?
making videos about him. Yes, this is real. And
so we're reading a public court document.
It had to go to court, but unsurprisingly,
and what's wrong with
got
this?
Immediately dismissed.
Yeah, it doesn't mention his address or anything.
Oh my god, dude! Oh my god!
Mine mentions my address because it's about my house, right? About my place.
Dude, this is so... Dude, it's literally about... Chris Hansen literally knocked on his door. We have visual footage that went with this court document. Wait, is this in the video? I didn't even check. Does he show it in the video? I don't think so. Surely he doesn't show it in this video.
Nicholas The goat.
No.
Thank you for the $5, my man.
That would be too easy. Wait, no, this is the stream outside of
live stream with Billy the Frig. He's actually able to confront Onision outside his house, and this time...
Why?
Instead of calling the cops, he actually had a 40-minute conversation on live stream with Billy the Frig.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. What the fuck? Confronted him outside his house?
Nicholas, the goat. Thank you for the $5, my man.
Dude, I can't believe that. Why would anyone do that? Surely no one was sharing his address around this time frame that you could easily search.
Or wait,
doesn't mention
so
it.
the
only
filing for knocking on his door doesn't mention the address? Hanson's house?
Does it mention his address? I don't fucking know.
So this is a standard that's unrealistic to hold. I mean, we're in drama. That's the thing.
Like, as drama creators, you're going to
public
video.
figures.
Do your
public
standards
figures.
not change in life over like 6 years or so?
So now, when Onision and Chris Hansen were filing lawsuits against each other for showing up to each other's house, we should avoid that as drama tubers. Is the standard you're saying now?
No, there's no rules. It's just my personal rules.
Oh, okay, so everyone else can cover fucking Chris Hansen knocking on Onision's door. That's totally fine. It's just my it's like Batman, okay? Batman doesn't kill. If there's one thing Bowblax does, it's not cover court proceedings in the last 5 years.
No one else has to adhere to my rules. It's just my personal rules.
When do you think he created the standard, by the way? Do you think this has always been his standard like he claims, or do you think this was a new standard that he had just chosen to have after people made fun of him for being homeless? Do you think that might have something to do with it? I don't know. Just a theory, a game theory.
Of morals.
Well, I guess if
want
nobody
you
has
can
to adhere
dox
to your
on,
rules,
you can
then...
dox whatever you want on fucking YouTube.
Yeah, except Nick. Nick's not allowed to share court documents, but everyone else, fine.
Well, the thing is, you're calling it a dox, but it's like, first of all, Nicholas DeOrio censored. You're talking about Nick specifically, and he censored your address, right? I don't believe he even shared a link to it, right? Now, obviously, I guess you're saying
I don't like him because of it. All we're amounting to is I don't like him because of it. And I think he's a dickhead and an asshole for getting into my...
Guys, Bowblax loved me up until March of this year. Not even March. Up until April of this year. Was it April 11th? Or I forgot what date it was. Bowblax was totally cool with me up until this one moment. That's when everything went bad.
My personal shit and posting it online. I don't like him. He can do it. I don't like him for it. And that's why I mentioned the comment cop thing. Not because he's not allowed to.
That's why I created an elaborate lie and then lied on the stream for like 20 minutes. Because Nick made fun of me for having my house foreclosed.
Do it because I was pissed off at him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so we've got malicious intent, just to be clear.
Yeah, but like, I don't know.
It's not about like fucking like getting into the weeds of what I did or didn't say or...
What do you mean the weeds of what I did or didn't say, bro? Come on. Yeah, it's kind of like you're setting a standard here, all right? You're saying this is your standard. Why can't I question it?
Weird hypocrisies or like whatever. It's just I got pissed at him and then I fucking
lied.
Told everyone he was comment cop.
I just to me it just seems okay. So you said you told IRLs. You said you told IRLs that he was comment cop. Like you've been to some IRLs about that.
Sure,
it just seems like what? Like are these like?
But maybe not like saying comment cop. I'm like, there's this guy in an alt account, you know, because they're not like into drama shit. Generally,
well, you have quite a few alt accounts yourself that you've been using Stone Dagger and things like that.
We have to go through Bowblax's large array of alt accounts where he tried to astroturf himself in Ethan's community to beg for support when his channel was dying and he couldn't sell any plushies, or all the weird ones where he was basically talking about having sex with Keffels. We have to ignore those ones, so we can't talk about those alt accounts.
I mean,
sure, yeah.
I don't know. It's a little rich for you to...
Do you not have second Twitter accounts, second Reddit accounts, or whatever?
I've got second accounts, absolutely. None of them are like that.
Actually, no.
Anonymously.
I have a secret YouTube...
the only weird account I have is FaZe Pokemon, and I created it specifically to follow Tipster when he blocked me, but it is now defunct because you don't need that anymore. You can just read tweets.
Accounts that, well, it's not a secret YouTube, it's my personal YouTube account. Right. Most YouTubers have alt accounts that they sneak around on.
Yeah.
And self-promote. And,
Well,
in the
sneak
third
around.
person.
What is this?
Thoughts on the thoughts?
Jesus, dude! Augie! Why would you tweet this? What the fuck is this? I can't play this. Hold on, wait. I need to listen to this before I play any more of it. I'm assuming Bowblax says something, but why would you include that? Hold on, desktop audio. Jesus fuck, dude. Whoa! Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I just got sent this by a trusted friend of mine. Honestly, I'm horrified. What did you mean by this, Bowblax? Okay, Dumpy's not live. Jesus, dude! We told Bowblax that we weren't live for 2 seconds, and he dropped a hard R immediately. Holy shit! Okay, Dumpy's not live.
Are bad and trans.
Okay, I'm actually. Dude, I did not expect. Okay.
Dude, okay, all right, yeah, all right. So, big shout out to Bowblax for going out and calling out evil Augie Nazi man. I guess whatever. I guess he really did want to play this game today. I guess we want to button out on that one. Oh my god, Jesus fuck, dude. Dude, Bowblax is so stupid. He fell for the "we're not streaming" meme at the end when we were leaving the call, I guess, and then he just dropped the hard R immediately. That's amazing. I thought that was lost to time.
I mean, I don't know. You were posting the H. What was he posting on
The guy, Keemstar Orbiter, Nick Oreo, Mr. Oreo.
Like, obviously, I don't think that Bowblax is fucking racist because he said that to be edgy when he thought no one can hear it. But, like, I think it makes it so you can't really judge anybody else. I don't know. Bowblax was always a follower. He acts like he's better than everybody now, but he literally would be engaging in all of these activities if we weren't mean to him, I guess.
H3 subreddit like promoting himself in the third person. Like,
yeah,
Bobby's doing this, Bobby's doing that. As if
yeah, that's like, Bowblax's new ult, dude. Hey, chat, you want that to be our new donation sound? If you give me $1,000, you can bomb my stream with the N-word. I'm not doing that. Don't actually do that. Holy shit!
Yeah, like a couple times to boost engagement. On Reddit, everyone's
like,
doing that from time to time.
I don't think people pretend that they're someone else. They just posted themselves.
Right.
They just like, like.
Could you imagine I'm talking to like a politician live on stream, someone sends $1,000 donation, and Bowblax just drops the N-word?
As Bowblax, you just post your own video.
Why does it matter which one I do it as?
It's just a strange thing.
It's just kind of weird.
Like,
I mean, I don't know.
Okay, there
it's
you
like
go.
a weird thing. And also that you were talking shit.
Yeah, it's like hard R too.
About commentary and Turkey Tom before the Fallout happened. Like you're posting like, Bobby was always right about commentary in like July
on Nicholas
of 2024.
Like in third person, you're just like posting yourself up there.
Oh yeah, I was pissed off at how Tom was reacting to the non-binary tweet.
Yeah.
I ranted to you about that, Connor.
That's more normal. It's
and by the way, Tom's advice was not Tom's advice. Tom's response was totally fucking valid, and my advice was really fucking good. So I mean, I have no problems with how we handled and conducted ourselves in that interaction.
Nicholas,
zero.
The goat. Thank you for the $5.
Yeah, it's strange to talk.
Yeah, that's
as if
definitely
you're a third
weird.
person.
Yeah, I was manic. Yeah, you definitely do.
Oh, by the way, Tipster told me I can't DM him back because Twitter DMs are still broken, but I can read it.
What's the name of the?
I literally know who you're talking about now. I just jogged my memory at what this was. Yeah, we all said privately we weren't going to cover that publicly. Bowblax is taking credit for it, but I'm pretty sure he was in the call where we went over what we were not going to cover it.
Weird thing.
I don't know if he was for a matter of fact, but I remember that now. Yeah.
Well, this was more than just you were self-promoting as the third person. This whole content, this whole account.
I don't really.
The whole account.
I think I might have even have been there when we were all talking.
A different person to you.
A bit of a world apart, right?
The whole account is a different person to you.
Versus
in your mind, when you were logged in as Stone Dagger,
he's trying to cash in a Nick optics check potentially.
In your mind, you were a different person. Whether it was self-promoting or whether it was shitty talking on commentary, you were acting as if you were a different person promoting Bobby every time you did something.
Sure.
Which is strange.
Yeah, like a 3 video. Yeah, I promoted on a video on Reddit. I don't see that as.
Oh my dude! Now he's trying to defend the fact that he went on all the accounts to try to astroturf himself on Reddit in the H3 subreddit. If there's a whole stream we did on this, it's really fucking funny. He would go on and then post about himself in the third person and say like, Bobby has really owned Keemstar because he needed reinforcements on his Twitter account. It is not as innocent as he portrays here. It's very funny and pathetic.
I mean, that's a great way to completely minimize what I'm saying, but I'm saying it's a weird thing. People look at it and they say, this is strange. And this is...
Yeah, strange. Fuck strange. It's pathetic. It is absolutely pathetic because he couldn't sell fucking stuffed animals. All right, it's not strange. He's not a creep for doing it. It's pathetic.
Yeah, delusional, and you look a bit crazy.
Okay.
All right. Can we talk about?
There's no disagreement here. You're just saying it's nuts.
Yeah, he used those accounts in desperation to beg
and I'm
for.
not saying it
yeah,
isn't.
you begged for.
Yeah, it's not like posting on r/videos or posting something on YouTube drama. It's going to a very specific community because you were fighting with people and you needed reinforcements, and not doing it as yourself, which is even funnier. And Bowblax has always been begging for Ethan's attention as well for years.
Ethan's audience likes
Nicholas, the goat. Thank you for the $5, my man.
And the reality of the situation is even funnier. The only thing that you needed to do to be in Ethan's good graces is make decent content, as it would later turn out, entirely organically by accident. All Bowblax would have needed to do is make better videos.
Yeah, I mean,
here's something I want to ask.
Okay, like wow, it would have only probably only gained like 50 more views or like whatever amount of views. It's like barely anything.
We're not talking about the quantity of how much. We're not talking about the quantity of how much you get.
He must be so mad that you're in Ethan's good books. And that's the best part. I never wanted this. I'm sure me and Ethan will fight at some point about something and whatever. And that's totally fine, right? But yeah, obviously, like this is what Bowblax needed.
And we're talking
It is super ironic and funny.
about the action.
The YouTube drama writers have definitely put in a good word for me.
Okay, then you can think it's weird.
Okay, here's something I want to ask about.
Nicholas!
This is in relation
Yo!
to the goat.
Thank you for hitting
said
the
in this
goal.
Gokanara video
You've
that,
earned another goal.
A lot of the shit that you got from me and Nick comes from, almost everything comes from Connor, because Connor became your editor. You guys became really close. You started talking every day. And allegedly, according to you, Connor was sending a lot of dirt or whatever to us to get us to turn on you so that we would take you out. And
nope, that never happened. Nope,
Whoa,
never.
what
Nope.
Fanfic you're like.
well, I mean, it's the fanfic you were saying on the Gokanara video. You basically
Dude, the awkward laugh. No, what is this fan fiction, dude?
The argument is that Connor convinced us, me and Nick, to hate you because he became close to you.
Never said that.
I mean, we just listened to you basically say that on the Gokanara video. You said all of the.
Didn't I just say that any reason that like you?
This is all completely new to you, Star. This happened 3 hours ago. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's definitely this. I think I finished this stream because I was on here, obviously. Spoiler alert, and then I got ready to start this stream.
Or Nick might dislike me in that moment.
One in chat if we just heard Bowblax say that in the Gokanara video.
Oh
Wait,
no!
Actually, you just interrupted me.
Wait, you just interrupted.
I was just saying what I said. You can watch it. We can rewatch it.
Yeah, I mean, I literally heard you.
Because you clearly misinterpreted what I meant or what I said.
All right, let me pull up the Gokanara.
Recapping it in a way that doesn't make any sense at all.
Well, you said,
dude, you don't understand. We just have to agree to disagree. Augie, you need to agree to disagree with him right now, or he will cry. If you do not agree to disagree with him right now, okay, he will start sobbing, and you will feel bad.
Something.
He said you were close. He said like I was closest to Connor, who. He said something about that. Afterwards.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Let's just pull it up.
I'm pretty sure I said something along the lines of.
He sounds so smug. That's why I think he's delusional, because I feel like I would be shitting bricks right now if I was lying this hard on fucking live stream. I would be terrified. I literally, I can't even conceptualize what I would be doing because it's so out of anything I would ever do in my entire life.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, but I'm saying in the moment 2 months ago, not like last year. I'm talking about like the reason why they
Well, give me an example.
in that
like,
moment.
Let's be more specific.
No, I got the microcode. I don't think it's the CPU.
Just like how I was talking with the non-binary stuff.
All right, let's play let's play your words directly. You said, let me find when you said Connor.
Oh, closest with was Connor.
Okay, let's listen to this right now.
Here, which included not talking with me. I was actually closest with his friend Connor. And then Nick. Okay, now I hear.
Wait, what? Hold on. What just? I missed something. What just happened?
When you said Connor.
Oh, closest with was Connor.
Okay, let's listen to this right now.
Here, which included not talking with me. I was actually closest with his friend Connor. And then.
Oh, he had it muted. He's like, I can't hear anything. What the fuck? And then he goes to manually raise the volume.
Nick. Okay, now I hear. But
wait. Augie's friend Connor? Is that the guy who hosts?
Yeah, Augie's friend Connor. Yeah.
That's the guy who hosts with
he
Augie
was
now?
my editor.
Go back,
We
I
were
didn't hear
talking
the
like
beginning.
every day.
Go back. Okay, we'll restart
I
it.
didn't hear the beginning.
All right.
I don't know.
Because you tell me, but like, who did you think you were like the closest friend
PS5 Frozen? Oh my god, dude. I literally can't win. That's an entirely different thing. Are you serious? I'll try to fix that now.
with in that group? Like,
Toward the end, definitely Nick, because Augie was AFK for the internet for a year,
Right.
which included not talking with me. I was actually
By the way, this is bullshit. Just to be clear, I talked to you as much as I talked to pretty much anyone else. I mean, I did talk to Nick DeOrio the most, right? But I mean, I had one conversation.
Yeah, I just deactivated and reactivated it. We're good.
with
I
Tom.
recommend watching
My
Nicholas
PS5 is
DeOrio's
vaccinated,
latest
yeah.
video.
Hit you up a few times. So I don't know why you.
Yeah, so it was
you,
the same with everyone. Well, yeah, that's what you did. You just
Well, you
hit me
make it
up, like,
imply
one
that like
time.
after I left the internet, like I specifically stopped talking with you because I just.
I don't
didn't-
know if it was. I didn't know if it was specifically me or anyone.
Well, I mean, that's
else.
the
How would I know?
implication of what you're
You said
saying.
that to Nick.
I
You said
mean-
it to Nick and
Well, I
DMs
didn't
during
know.
your breakdown.
I didn't.
Yeah, you also said to
Oh
Nick.
my, dude, he's such a Weasley little shit, bro.
Complained to
way.
Nick that I basically blew you off after I left.
Yeah, I did. I thought it was only to me. I don't know if it was to everybody.
Well,
or
I mean,
just
that's a
me. How
shitty
would
thing
I
to
know?
assume. Why would you
Yeah.
assume that about me?
And then spread it publicly.
yeah.
I recommend watching Nicholas DeOrio's latest video.
I had to hear Bowblax about the terrible. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We're not playing the.
What?
You had an
I'm
issue.
just saying what happened.
Well, you're come on, dude. I'm not a fucking retard.
Well,
I'm not fucking
how do
3
I
years
know
old.
that you're doing it
You're
to everyone
obviously
or
in-
just me? That's irrelevant.
Well, that's the point, right? You don't know that, right? But you assume that I'm specifically blowing you off. And
I
then you're
never
complaining
said that though. You're making that assumption.
You said that to Nick
I
DeOrio
never
to
said that.
DMs. You
I
said that to DM
You're
and Nick DeOrio to DMs.
Dude, I'm not fucking 3 years
directly.
old. Okay,
You
like
said that to Nick
What?
DeOrio DMs.
Is this
you
better?
literally just what's the point of even bringing it up then? If I'm doing this to everybody else, then it's not a fucking problem. So why are you bringing it up?
I
Including
didn't
not
know you
talking
were
to me.
doing it to everyone else. I only found that out just now. What?
Okay, then why did you bring it up? What was the point of bringing it up then?
Because I felt like you were only doing it to me.
Oh,
Yes,
exactly.
which is
Oh,
shitty.
wow, dude, you're malicious, crazy. You'd admit it.
That's the point. That's what I'm getting at. That's a
How
shitty.
would I know though?
Then
What?
don't
Well, you
say
don't
shitty.
know.
You-
So
so
shouldn't
you
say
act
that. You
shitty to
shouldn't
everyone, and
assume-
then one person reacts, and you're like, "Well, I'm shitty to everyone, so it doesn't matter."
It's not shitty.
That's not what I'm
What?
saying, you
You're not
fucking
even-
idiot.
you're
I'm not
even
saying I
being
was shitty to everybody. I was just saying, like, when I bounced from the fucking internet,
Yeah,
I
he
didn't
just straight
talk
up
to
admitted
very
it.
many
That's
people.
so fucking funny.
Okay.
But you still talk to Bowblax also.
Okay.
You shouldn't
Yeah,
even
but I
say
still
what
that.
I
talk to you
said.
just as much as I talk to other people, right? But
So?
you mentioning that implies that you have a problem with it. I mean, this is just basic one-to-one
Yeah,
human
I did
interaction.
I did have a problem with it.
Well, then
yeah.
why didn't you confront me about it? Instead of
Because
talking
you-
shit about it
because-
and assuming that I'm being shitty to you.
Because you literally like left the internet and were AFK to
Oh no, dude, you left the internet. Why did Daddy leave the internet? Oh no.
everything.
But you have my phone number. You could have texted
why
me.
would I
Uh-oh.
ask you? It wasn't that big
Bro,
of a
friendship
deal
is a
enough at
two-way
the
street.
time.
You had my phone number. You could have texted me. If you felt like I was blowing you off or ignoring you, you could have been like, hey, like,
Well,
I feel like we're not that
it amplifies
close
after
anymore.
You like start like be like hating me and stuff. After
What do
all
you
this,
mean?
Yeah,
This
that
is-
amplifies
this is
looking
like-
back.
this is like
Obviously,
way
in the moment,
before
it
all
doesn't
that.
matter that much, but looking back, I'm like, wow. I guess you really didn't give a shit. You
Yeah,
know?
so you
Like,
feel that
looking back.
But you just said it right now, implying that this is something you've always felt, right? You've always felt like I didn't give a
Yeah, but he was manic. He was manic. He was manic.
shit about you, right? And I'm saying,
Nicholas, the goat. Thank you for the $5.
What a
my
fucking
man.
scumbag, dude. What a fucking lying piece of shit.
first of all, that wasn't true.
Well,
but second of all, if you
looking
felt that
back-
way, why
looking
didn't you
back
talk to
on
me
it-
about it?
Oh, retroactively, I can realize that I was
What's
a
the name of
raging
the
piece of
guy
shit.
from Keemstar Orbiter?
What a
Nick
fucking
Oreo.
piece of shit,
Mr.
dude.
Oreo.
Nick
Now-
OMG, please play Escape from the City. OMG, please, oh please.
Oh, looking back on it now, not in the moment.
So
I'm just
based
saying,
on
like,
how
looking
I've
back
treated you
on
now, you think I
actions, that's
always...
the conclusion I came to. Yeah.
Well, this is interesting, right? So you think based off of how I've covered you now, like I never gave a shit about you this whole time.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
And why did you say it to Nick in July 2024?
Uh-oh.
I'm having that interview in, what was it, like March 2025.
I know, but you said the same thing. You
You're
said the same
asking
thing.
You said the
why
same
my
thing that you said
feelings aren't the
previously.
same. A lot of things changed between July 2024 and
No.
March 2025.
No, I'm saying this
So
didn't
my
change. This
feelings
stayed the
on
same.
different
Dude,
things and different people changed.
Connor is
No.
trying to engage with him, and he's just screaming over him because he's got no argument. I love this.
And compare
Gosh.
one thing to another and be like, oh, you're
Gosh.
hypocritical.
I'm
It's like, all right, that's fantastic, Bowblax, but the point is...
saying
Like,
these
what
are
the
the
fuck?
same things. I'm saying your feelings didn't change from July 2024 when you said the same exact thing to Bowblax, and today when you're saying now that I reflect on it, I feel this way. Didn't change from July 2024
What did
to
I
now.
say in July 2024?
You
You
told
said
I
the
don't,
same
like,
thing that
remember
you told
barely any of
Gokanara,
that
which is that you feel like I was shitty to you because I was ignoring you when I left the internet.
You said that to Nick in July 2024.
Then I felt that way in July 2024.
Dude, then, yeah, I guess I did that. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, I guess I said that.
Well, I guess.
Okay, well then, okay, we've
I don't
established
remember
that.
that time. I was manic.
My point is,
Oh, I was manic. I was manic. You wonder why we talk about his BPD and stuff all the time? Like, all he does is use this shit as a crutch. And you know what's another thing he used as a crutch? His gender. All right? Listen, that's not me saying it's not true. That's not me doubting his existence. That's me doubting him. Okay?
is that if you felt that way, why didn't you
Every new thing that could potentially be happening to him is the excuse that he uses the next time he gets in trouble.
confront me about it, you know? And also, you didn't message me.
Because
you know what I mean?
You were
It's not
gone
like
from the fucking internet.
What do you mean?
And I
gone?
did try
What,
to
you think I
message
died? You think I was in like a fucking
abandoned your-
stasis?
You
think I was in a
abandoned your
fucking
accounts.
Bro, do you think I was in a
DM you and
fucking
you don't answer? What do you mean?
in a cryo chamber?
Keep in mind, he's crying and like screaming right now, but he has Augie's phone number. He literally could just text him. He didn't change his phone number. He just didn't use the Discord account that everyone was spamming.
We're just like freezing to death. You couldn't just call me. You think like when I left the internet,
Wait,
I was
what?
just gone
What?
from
I have
the world?
to call you?
Yeah, probably. If you're gonna make this argument, you ought to call him.
Yes, if you have a fucking problem, that's what friends do. If you have a fucking problem with somebody, hit them up and be like, "Hey, I have an issue with you. Why aren't you talking to me?"
This is a 28-year-old man, or 27. It's either 27 or 28-year-old man. This is absolutely fucking crazy.
Blah blah blah. Let's talk it out. Are we
Yeah, choosing beggar, right? r/choosing beggar.
close? I feel like we're not that close anymore. But instead of doing that, you fucking talk shit about me to fucking Nick and say that I'm being shitty to you. And I'm now telling you that that was a shitty thing to do, right?
Yeah,
You're making
I agree.
assumptions
I was
about me.
manic. I was saying a bunch of things that I would have
It
done.
was the mania. It was the mania. Keep in mind, before this, it was the BPD. Then we found out he lied about that. Now it's the mania.
It's not. This isn't just a manic thought, though. This is a thought you genuinely had.
today you have.
Yeah, okay.
And today
when
you
you're
have.
manic,
Nicholas,
Thank you.
the goat. Thank you for the $5, my
and
man.
the genuine thoughts, they amplify and you do crazy things.
So now he's conceding that the things that he said he actually meant, but like they were exaggerated from those previous positions.
On small things that normally you wouldn't take action on immediately otherwise.
So is the manic part the part that he said it out loud, or is this the manic part that he thought it?
But this is a thought you had since I left. I mean, let's just be honest, right? Like you were like, "Oh, Augie's gone."
There's two ways you can interpret this. Bowblax has been completely unhinged for 2 years, which, fine, okay, I'll accept. Or Bowblax is lying.
To an extent, but if
Yes!
yeah, it was a little weird that you left, like, jumped off the face of the earth and left, but, like, it wasn't like...
Dude, Bowblax took the Augie break harder than his fans did. And by the way, Augie got paid out 10 months of memberships or something for people who didn't cancel when he was, like, promising fucking members-only streams and shit. And Bowblax still got the fucking shorter end of the dick.
That much of a bother until, like...
And again, Bowblax had his phone number.
You know, I'm manic and it gets amplified and I over-exaggerate things and stuff, and then I care too much. And now I'm trying to, like, explain things, like, that, you know,
Yeah, did he almost say when you left me? I'm starting to think that there was a romance here that we were unaware of.
in the moment, so yeah, it's gonna seem...
Did they lock eyes in the VidCon bed? Remember when I said that Augie and Bowblax were sleeping in the VidCon bed together and that was a big haha funny joke? Remember that? Do you remember? I remember.
It was too extreme. It was over the top, and I was shitty to you, and I was shitty to Nick and stuff, and I've apologized in private and public the best I can. So...
what did you apologize for? I mean, you apologized.
Dude, what did you apologize to me for? I might have missed it. I'm not really sure. What was that? What happened?
To Nick for the conversation or whatever. I don't think you've ever apologized to me for anything. Just, I mean, not that I'm asking for it. I don't really give a fuck about apologies.
Oh, I guess I didn't, Augie. Sorry.
But I'm, you know, just to make that clear for the record. But anyway, look, that wasn't the point of playing this clip.
I'm pretty sure I didn't tweet out a public apology mentioning you. But...
Oh, now it's a public apology.
Mentioning me? Okay, well maybe I missed that one. I'll have to double check that. But just I'm not asking for a fucking apology. I don't give a shit.
I apologize for it now. So
regardless, even if I didn't, I did now. So you can't be mad at me because now dude, he does it every time. I might have lied, but I've done it now, so you can't be mad.
I'm regretful of that entire.
I'm regretful because I told you right now after you've cornered me in this conversation.
Time period, which I'll claim from like July to let's just say like October, I guess.
Yeah.
It's probably a decent time frame for all that. So.
Well, listen, this wasn't
mentally so.
This wasn't the main reason why I wanted to play this part of the fucking interview. I want to hear what you say about Connor, but I wanted to fucking address that because I've heard you say that multiple times that I blew you off or something like that.
Loner Box. I gotta be honest, buddy. This is probably not the right stream to raid into, but thank you. Thank you. It's a bit of a risky one, dude, but thank you.
And I mean, that's just not true. So anyway, let's keep playing this.
Because you everybody off.
Right? Well, I mean,
You're talking to
everyone
to you all the time.
To an extent, but it's like
Hello, everyone who just heard about the terrorist attack. We're gonna be talking about Bowblax for the next fucking 30 minutes before we talk about it.
To you as much as I talk to anyone else on the internet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the time, I did.
How many times? Wait, didn't we check? Did Bowblax ever reach out to you once when you were gone? I think we looked. Yeah, Bowblax never messaged you first. First,
yeah.
I don't think
first.
Oh my god, dude!
I don't think so.
On Twitter.
Oh, on Twitter?
To the Raiders, are you guys fans of bees?
Twitter and Discord, yeah.
What attack? We're gonna talk about the fucking terrorist attack. The person who shot up? What was it? The AJC? Is that what it was called?
You DM'd me on Twitter. I feel like that's not.
Actually, I think this tweet was pretty fucking banger. If I do say so myself, I think out of all the tweets that happened, this was pretty banger. From the river to the sea, and apparently Washington D.C.
I mean, I pretty much logged off of Twitter.
It wasn't about like you being gone or whatever. It was just like, yo, what's up, dude? And stuff like that.
I don't remember getting a DM like that. I gotta be honest with you.
You probably just weren't on Twitter.
All right, stop writing "this is good news" to the B thing while I'm talking about terrorism. You're gonna make people think that that's what you're talking about.
I can't check. I mean, I can't check because we have each other. We have each other blocked.
It makes sense. You're saying like you were ignoring a lot of people and everyone. You blew up.
Don't listen to him, Josh. Augie never stopped calling me ever. Says Nick in the chat. So.
Shut the fuck up.
Sorry, man. I guess it's over for you.
Shut the fuck up.
All
right,
oh my god,
dude.
You know, I don't respond to people. I blow people off all the time too.
Wait, there's an iDubbbz Noah interview. Did that happen? I actually might have to check that out tonight.
And don't respond right away, and then come back to it a bit later, or what have you. It's just it's not that.
By the way, I want you to know that of all the mean things I've ever said about Bowblax, him burning the bridge today with Augie and doing what he did will probably end up becoming like the biggest mistake of his life. Because whatever I have on Bowblax, I guarantee you, Augie has been very nice to him thus far. That was probably a mistake on his part, if I had to guess. I don't know what Augie has already said this stream, but I can't imagine it was very productive for Bowblax.
How big of a deal?
Let's play what you said about Connor, and then I want to dissect that because I'm curious about that.
Tell me, but like, who did you think you were like the closest friends with in that group? Like,
toward the end, definitely Nick, because Augie was AFK for the internet for a year,
right,
which included not talking with me. I was actually closest with his friend Connor, and then Nick. Wait, pause.
Wait.
I can't believe we had that entire conversation just based on me saying that, like that little thing.
Like, why is he having this? Yeah, I can't believe that you lied for 30 minutes either, Josh. That is pretty crazy.
Like,
what do you mean it's a little
on these
thing?
Little things I say and like blow it up, like. So
it's been something
it
you've been repeating.
It was horrible. Augie's such a victim, and it was so horrible
it's
that I
you've been repeating for years,
that he was
dumbass.
the only person to like
You've been saying this for
allegedly
years.
blow me off or whatever.
You've literally
But
been
in
saying
that
this
clip,
over
I
a
was just
year.
like, oh, he didn't mention
Straight.
me
I'm sorry, dude, but when somebody says bullshit about me for a year, I have to
You
correct
said this
it.
for a year straight. You had a meltdown. You had a meltdown about Among Us over this.
What do you mean that little
thing?
thing?
For this fight.
What was that? What? Why did he just go? Ooh? He was like, do
Down. You had a meltdown about Among Us over this.
Dude, every single time he like gets pushed on a point, he just starts emoting like a Fortnite character. What is happening? What's going on right now?
I mean that little
For
thing.
this, by the way.
You're indicting my character by saying that I didn't give a shit about you. You're making an argument that like the whole time.
Dude, his Shelbo, he's like.
You think people are gonna think that deeply about it based on that little comment?
You've said this Does everything you say just have no meaning to it? Is that how you avoid?
Yeah, everything that Bowblax says is fine. It doesn't really matter. It's not that big of a deal. Everything that we say is the worst thing ever. We're actually Hitler. We should
responsibility
Dude,
for anything
really
you say.
think that's how people came away from that?
Hey, that's the obvious
replay that clip.
Why are we talking about one
Replay
single?
that clip.
Wait. The clip doesn't matter. You've made this argument for years, dumbass. We're talking about your overarching argument and feelings you've made in multiple different
Wait,
avenues.
you made the argument based on the.
You said this to Nick. You said you had a meltdown about Among Us over Discord about that Xylee was your only friend. You
That's
made this
behind.
argument.
That's not public though. You're.
Dude, you don't understand. Yeah, you're right, but it happened in private. What the fuck?
Yes, you had an Among Us
indicting
meltdown.
your character.
That's all
not
part of
about
it.
Me talking
You have
to
made
Nick.
this argument for over a year.
Me talking to Nick is different than me
And
talking
then you're
to live
and then you're
stream.
minimizing this argument that you've made for over a year and that you've thought for over a
Minimizing.
year
Oh, you're such
into
a
one
video.
little clip.
Minimize.
What, dude? Yeah, I literally can't. This is so awesome.
You're making it as if it's one little clip.
It's not that.
This is why they call him a horror cow. That's where this. That's why I said that, dude. Yeah.
Big of a deal. That's why.
It's something.
Like, why is he emoting, dude? He's going to demon mode.
You really think it's that big of a deal? You really
This
think
is what you do for every
that
argument, though.
me,
You minimize
that I
everything you
was
do.
publicly
into, like, one
implying that
tiny little
Augie
thing.
is a horrible friend to everyone. I was really giving off the impression to everyone that Augie was such a horrible friend while he
You
was
said
on.
that to Nick.
You know, I had
directly. That was
people
your
come
feeling.
up to
You
me
revealed your
like
true
at
thought, dude.
VidCon, like really excited, like, "Yo, when's Augie come back?" Like,
All right, I'm starting to think something has just shined through a little bit. People are so excited walking up to me at VidCon, and then they say, "When is Augie coming back?" Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I don't know, but I hope
Dude, I gotta be honest.
The guy.
I gotta be honest.
I was being. I would never trash talk you, really.
I gotta be honest, dude.
Other
Maybe
than like,
I never trash talk you, really, he says. That's another interesting one from Bowblax. Keep in mind, we are going to be rebuking some of these arguments in a little while. We're just waiting on the right time.
the way you're arguing right now, I'm starting to believe you actually are a woman. Like, holy.
Okay, Augie. There we go.
Fucking
Come
shit.
on. Don't fucking.
I'm just kidding.
It's just terrible. It's like, it's terrible.
That wasn't a transphobic joke.
well, literally, dude, I was like one of your biggest fans behind the scene.
I was one of your biggest fans behind the scenes. I didn't realize that Augie groomed Bowblax, dude. This parasocial bond right now. He got groomed by this striking 19-year-old fucking kid, dude. This is insane.
It wasn't like really hardcore shit talking you behind the scenes or anything like that, other than like me giving out a couple grievances to Nick when I'm like fucking mano.
Well, I'm currently trying to unlock general grievance right now.
Keffels
Crazy.
appreciated the shout out.
Like, seriously, dude. Like, you really think that I was going around,
Yes.
like, smearing your name and making you seem like a shitty person?
It's
You
not
really
about
think
me
that?
being a shitty person. It's about you saying that I basically thought you were shit and I didn't give a fuck about you, right? Which would be shitty.
Which
yeah,
to like Nick.
I mean, that's the
and a
argument you're
couple
making.
people
You can try to
venting.
minimize it. You can try to minimize it right
You
now.
don't
Like,
vent about
oh,
people,
it was
even
just a
your friends
little
to others.
vent that I made or whatever, right? But that's indicative of my character, is what you're saying, and it's indicative of the way that I treat you as a human being and as a friend, right?
You is that what Nick took from me saying? And I was also manic at the time and going.
Oh my, dude, everything, my mania, anytime that something I say doesn't make sense, remember, I'm mentally ill, guys. I am unhinged. I'm crazy, dude. I can't believe you guys distance from me. I'm
I say something to you,
crazy.
Nick?
I'm fucking
I
insane
really like
right
it.
now. I'm
Why?
nutto.
Shit, but also, you really think like, well, Nick doesn't even think that about you. Nick's like cool with you now.
We're not
So,
talking
like,
about Nick. We're
why
talking about you, bro.
Are you like
Well,
mad?
I don't-
But that's the
obviously
person I
Nick-
told.
but
What
that
are you
doesn't
mad
matter.
about that I did?
It doesn't matter
I
if
told
Nick-
Nick.
it doesn't matter if Nick walked away from that thinking like, wow, Augie's a piece of shit, or if Nick walked away thinking of that, Bowblax is lying, like Augie's great. That doesn't matter. The point is that this is a feeling that you have, that you've expressed, that is based off of bullshit. You thought that I was blowing you off, and you thought that that means I didn't give a fuck about you, right? And so you're telling Nick about that, right? This is a thought that you've had
He is extremely pathetic. He keeps going feral in this conversation.
brewing for fucking years.
Dude, you think I broke him? You want to see what happens when it comes up when he goes, hey, Nick wants to call in. You could see how bad he's broken.
Obviously.
Brewing for years. It was.
Or at least a year, right?
Like months at that point.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I was like, dude,
I'm going to sit there and be like,
he doesn't care.
This guy treats me like I'm Batman.
It's not that deep, but okay.
Well, I mean, is everything you say just meaningless? Like,
yes, by the way, it is actually, yeah, that's 100% accurate. Everything he says is a lie.
Can I criticize?
You asked to go over the personal stuff. We're going over the personal stuff. Do you want to go over personal stuff, or does none of it matter? Why'd you fucking call in if you're just going to say everything's not that deep?
Uh-oh, laying down the law, are we?
This is a personal thing between you and
I
Augie.
didn't say everything's not that deep. I said.
But this is the personal shit. So let's instead of blowing it off as not that deep, how about let's actually engage with the conversation?
Okay, I'll listen.
Don't say that again.
Sorry, I'll listen to what I'll listen. Okay.
Jesus.
Jeez, man.
I mean,
holy shit, you're pissed.
Ridiculous.
Oh my, dude, and I'm not actually mad. You're the one who's upset, dude. Why are you so mad? Oh my god, bro.
Notice how Bowblax is attempting to pull Destiny-esque debate tactics, but he's so bad at making his points he turns to Boogie.
Because Bowblax thinks he's the smartest person on planet Earth, which makes fighting with him so much more fun. Because he's actually like the dumbest person on planet Earth.
It's ridiculous.
Okay,
He's done this for every argument, everything ever. It's not that
sorry
deep.
for
When he's
interrupting
under-
Augie's explanation. Like,
Oh my god, dude.
He is still going. You're actually, wow, I can't believe you're that mad. Like, you're so angry right now, dude. That's crazy. Why are you so angry?
This is just.
Oh
fucking
my
great.
God.
All right,
He's
listen.
so
I don't care
mad.
about this fucking point anymore. But you're saying that it's like.
Apparently.
Well, I mean,
Go ahead.
Okay. Keep in mind, by the way, chat, I moved on from this point and I wanted to talk about what he said about Connor, but then Bowblax re-engaged the conversation.
Yeah, and was like,
he was like, wait,
yeah,
hold on.
clip again? Can we go back?
So you're the one that keeps bringing it back. You're like, do you really care about this? Like, okay, well, I mean, I don't care. I don't care about anything, I guess. I don't fucking know. I'm a nihilist
No, I
now.
didn't say do you really care. I said do you really think that I was shit-talking you to a bunch of people?
Objectively, yes. we're reviewing it right
just
now.
Based on that one conversation with Nick, that's enough.
Objectively,
that's enough.
yes.
Out of all the nice things I've said about you
It's
behind
not
the
like
scenes,
it's not like I'm making
and everything.
Oh my God.
Me
It's not like
one
you were
personal
making the-
grievance of Augie being gone and not messaging me once or twice in a DM
What the fuck, dude?
conversation privately with Nick. That's enough for
It's
Augie
not
to
like-
say fuck Bowblax and fuck all this.
It's not
That's
like-
enough. You
Okay.
little pussy. You're a
Bro, this is like the most unearned. What the fuck am I? I'm sorry, I lost for a second. What did I come back
say
to?
fuck Bowblax and fuck all this.
It's
That's
not like-
enough. You
Okay.
little pussy. You're a weak
Oh
little
my god,
bitch.
you're fucking
really?
retarded.
You're a pussy, you're a weak little bitch? Where do you get the authority to talk like that?
It's not,
Holy shit,
you're just
really?
totally coping.
That's
It's not like
actually it.
Bowblax. I'm not making the argument
God.
that you were smearing me as a fucking pedophile to Nick or some shit, or that you were saying the most heinous, horrible shit about me, right? That's not what I'm fucking saying. But objectively, you did have a fucking problem with me. You did have a problem with my character, right? My treatment of you, and you were expressing
No,
that.
you're
Lyrics, just like lyrics,
yes,
by the way. Just
because
like
you didn't, because you were gone from the
Totally
internet for him.
delusional.
Like, what's my bro? Like, what?
Oh no. Oh no, bro. Oh god, dude.
Yeah, and I expressed that to Nick in private when I was crazy one time.
And you said to a couple other people too. You just said that. If
And
you,
that.
Oh, where's my friend? Oh no.
Okay, sorry to minimize your feelings, but that's
you
like,
said it to a couple of
that's how
people,
it is,
like
man.
you just said. You also say it on Gokunaro. You repeated this point when you had a meltdown about Among Us.
Yeah,
all this
'cause
is something
people
that you
ask
go
me
and
that.
talk shit about Augie's character, and then you're like, well, it does what if, they didn't really take it away.
It
It's
bothered
about
me.
your-
I'm saying this. I said it a million times.
Dude, I was manic. It bothered me. I don't feel that way anymore. Leave me alone.
In all those places, and I'm saying it again here, it bothered me that Augie ignored me and for those for all that
Well,
time.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, it bothered you,
And he did
it
that to
bothered
everyone.
me. It bothers me that you didn't
And-
confront me about it. If that was a thing that you
Okay,
genuinely
fair
thought,
enough.
you didn't fucking hit
Okay,
me up
fair
or text me. You're like, oh, Augie was off the internet or whatever, right? Bullshit. You had my fucking phone number. You could have
Fair
sent me a
enough.
text immediately.
Okay,
So,
fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. There we go.
Okay. Well, are we done with this?
Fair enough. Agree to disagree, man. Agree to disagree.
I'm glad we got that. Yeah.
I'm glad we got that out of the way, buddy. I'm glad we fucking got to the bottom of that.
Okay. Okay. Let's
That's
hear what
actually fair. No, I'm like, bullshit.
Oh, no bullshit, no bullshit. You've caught me. You've caught me. You've made me look like a fucking loser online. I just called you a raging pussy and screamed at you 30 seconds ago, but I actually have seen the error of my ways.
Like, that's fair.
Okay.
That is fair.
Let's hear what you said about Connor now.
And do you think it's fair that I was a...
And can I get you to concede something? Hey, I've conceded something. Will you concede something? Then we can agree to disagree.
That you were like blowing me off and stuff and weren't like around? You think that was, can you concede that too?
I mean, I think you should have called me about it or something if that bothered you.
100%.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, okay.
What's the name of the guy?
I did see what's about to happen now. This is so funny.
Mr. Oreo.
So, what you're about to witness is Bowblax asking Augie to agree to disagree, and then immediately changing the subject before Augie can finish his thought. Watch this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I didn't do that.
But if you...
There we go.
Okay, all right. Let's hear what you said about Connor.
For the end, definitely Nick, because Augie was AFK.
Or I completely missed it. I'm actually... Wait, what? Okay, maybe I'm completely off on that. When the fuck did I miss it?
That was... can you concede that too?
I mean, I think you should have called me about it or something if that bothered you.
100%. Yeah. I'm sorry I didn't do that.
But if you...
There we go.
Okay, all right. Let's...
Oh, okay, there we go. So, okay, that was what I was actually looking for.
Hear what you said about Connor.
Pre-watch fail. Literally, that's what happens when I pre-watch. I fail my timings.
Definitely Nick, because Augie was AFK for the internet for a year, which included not talking with me. I was actually...
That's how you know everything I do is natural, because when I try to pre-watch it, I fuck it up.
Closest with his friend Connor, and then Nick. But
wait, Augie's friend Connor? Is that the guy who hosts?
Yeah, Augie's friend Connor. Yeah.
That's the guy who hosts with Augie now?
He was my editor. We were talking like every day for like 6 months. I would tell him everything.
Damn.
Most of these leaks are from but most of I would assume the commentary against me or the things against me kind of originate from probably him saying things to people or what have you.
Damn.
That's just bullshit.
Most
of the things are me saying things to you.
Wait, what? Wait, why is he freaking out? Wait, what did I just miss? Why is he yelling?
From probably him saying things to people or what have you.
Damn.
That's just bullshit.
Most of the things are me saying things to you. And I'm specifically talking about... I'm specifically... and
I actually don't know what prompted that. He's like, yeah, let's agree to disagree. We're good, buddy. Screams.
I would assume the commentary against me or the things against me kind of originate from probably him saying things to people or what have you.
Damn. That's just bullshit.
Most of the things are me saying things to you. And I'm specifically talking about... I'm specifically...
And then his voice cracks, dude. This is like fucking tragic. This is a tragic thing that we're witnessing.
And I'm specifically talking about, when I say coverage of me online, I'm talking about the coverage of that current time period, March 2025. So anything that, and I also mentioned that I didn't watch any of the videos, about.
So you're just making up bullshit.
Generally.
You don't know what's, you know, anyone's talking about you haven't looked at any of the videos.
So
you're
I'm
just making up bullshit that I'm making.
So I'm saying because, oh my god, I'm saying because I was talking to you.
He does like the fucking annoying thing in debates where he starts talking slower if you interrupt him. Like, if you try to get your thought out when you think he's done talking, and you happen to step on his toes a little bit, he will stop the conversation dead in the tracks, make a fucking snide comment, wait. He won't spit it out. He uses it as, like, extra thinking time.
So much during that time or whatever, that any, like, behind the scenes, like, oh, Bowblax did this or Bowblax did that or whatever, probably come from him if they're being talked about in a video.
Most of the commentary coverage is what you say. Comes from me. So not behind the scenes, coverage.
Yeah, if there's any new information that I'm not aware of, it would probably come from you.
I'm working behind the scenes,
any new
telling
information
everyone
that came
all
out
your
publicly.
personal shit, and that's what most people are talking about.
We were talking together for so long, and like you knew about like my thought process with content creation and a bunch of different things. So any new thing that people are like, oh, about Bowblax or whatever, like you now that you hate me.
This is like ridiculous.
And you're making videos against me and shit.
What is wrong with him? I don't know, dude. But I don't think there was ever very much right with him. and I apologize for platforming this mentally ill schizophrenic.
You probably would, you know.
I wish I could go back to the day. Actually, no, I don't, because I like where we are now. But, oh god, there are so many things I would have done differently with Bowblax.
Say that to Augie and Nick. That's obvious, right?
Well, no, because
the thing is, there's more things wrong with Bowblax than right with Bowblax, and that's kind of the problem.
talking. He asked you a question. Who were you closest with during this time, right? And we're
Yes,
talking about during the time of when the fallout happened. And then you say, and most of the coverage that came from this was from Connor, right? Connor, most of the commentary coverage was from him. Though I don't think.
What's the name?
No,
of
I
the
was talking about
guy
the current.
from Keemstar
Yo,
Orbiter?
thank
Nick
you.
Oreo. Mr. Oreo.
Apology accepted. I'm glad, dude. Thank you.
Time
I don't
period
even think
at that point.
any of the commentary coverage besides after the fallout, when you made a tweet coming at me, came from me at all. The lyric stuff had nothing to do with me.
Okay, exactly. And that's what I'm talking about. If that was during March 2025, then that's what I was talking about.
2025. That would have been like, what, 2 months ago? That was way past.
Yes,
everything.
that's when the Gokanaro interview is. And that's
No, but he's asking you about when this fallout happened, who you were closest
if that's
friends
what
with.
Gokanaro meant, then I misinterpreted. But
How could Gokanaro have been asking who he was close with 2 months ago if he wasn't friends with any of us? How does this make sense? If Bowblax is not lying here, what is the most logical explanation for his point?
But obviously,
So what do you think
or
I
not
said in
obviously,
March
but what I
2025?
meant, what I was talking about was coverage of that current time period. Because he was like, he was
Coverage
talking
of-
about like, how do you feel about the coverage that's
Wait, no, the question was...
Nicholas, the goat. Thank you for the $5, my man.
It was close. Where does he say this? Listen. How could he be talking about March of 2025 if we weren't fucking friends for like half a year? Why is it not working? 2755. Fucking YouTube, dude. 2755.
Or is it? Yeah, you, Nick, Augie, and Tom pretty much were like boys, effectively. What exactly sowed the seeds of dissent in that fucking relationship? Specifically with Nick, because you
Wait, that's
tell
not
me,
it.
but like
that's
who?
not it. Where's the who were you closest to? Why would he talk about who he's close to after all of his friends have abandoned him? Closest. Political topics, closest. Okay, here.
Specifically with Nick, because you tell me, but like
Oh, that
who
was it.
was like who did you think you were like the closest friends with in that group? Like,
Dude, how could he have been talking about in current day with a question like that? What?
being done on you? I was thinking about videos that like were uploaded.
What?
And his response to this, again,
Toward the end, definitely Nick, because Augie was AFK for the internet for a year.
like he answers the question correctly, and then when he's asked to debate about it, he just straight up lies, which is weird.
right?
Which included not talking with me. I was actually closest with his friend Connor, and then Nick. But
Wait, Augie's friend Connor, is that the guy who hosts?
yeah, Augie's friend Connor. Yeah.
That's the guy who hosts with
he
Augie
was
now?
my editor
Like this is just like a straight up lie
during
That
that
doesn't
time.
make sense. That makes no sense.
What?
That-
I was
that's
getting
so-
shit on March.
No, but I'm saying
Commentary
that makes no sense
videos
for
were
the
being made
answer
on
to
me
your
in
question.
March.
You said so even in March you think I was most of the commentary coverage that people were talking about in March?
No, if there was any like new information that people were talking about in regards to me, it probably came from you talking to like Nick or Augie or
Like
whoever,
what? Like, give me an
and the
example.
information spreading from you as the source because we talked so much behind the scenes.
What were people
Like
talking about in March that you're thinking of?
any like new info that comes out is most likely going to be from you because we talked so much, and you
I
know
have-
me like the best out of any of them, right?
So like Stone Dagger, you think was from me? That was what was being talked about in March, right? Or a couple months ago, a month ago.
I've never.
The house stuff. you think
Maybe
it was-
He's totally avoiding the question because he loses the argument. Yeah, 100%.
Maybe that was like a month
Maybe
ago.
I was screen sharing and you saw
He
that.
can't give examples. The reason why he can't give examples is he's completely lying, and he's been lying the whole time.
Another Reddit account.
No,
Or something. I don't know.
DJ Screwdriver.
I don't know.
posted
I
a
don't
thread
really
on it.
think
So you're just
Stone
making up
Dagger.
bullshit, and you're
Wasn't
just
that from
spreading that I
DJ
was snaking you
Screwdriver?
privately.
You looked into that one?
You're just making
That
a bullshit and
from
spreading
him?
that I'm snaking you about.
No,
this
I
stuff
didn't
you're
make a
talking
bull. I
about.
said if any, because we were close, it stands to assume that any content. What? How do?
Oh my dude, he's like denims again, bro.
Keemstar Orbiter, Nick Oreo, Mr. Oreo.
Do you not understand what I was saying in
It
that
stands
interview?
to assume.
I'm so
You
confused.
can't assume that. If you don't know anything about that, you can't just be like, well, someone
But
who else
he's
close with this
asking
probably.
me,
Oh my god, dude, he's ulting again. He can't stop ulting.
and I don't know,
He
so I'm saying I don't know, but
No.
probably.
He asked you who you're closest with, and then you decide to add this random caveat. And Connor was the one who snaked me all the time, by the way. That's what you're adding as a random caveat. He didn't ask you, who do you think snaked you the most?
Yeah, he was saying that. That's like the whole impetus of this interview.
No, he
asked
said,
that
who are you
before.
closest to? And you said,
I'm adding
yeah,
on
Nick,
to
but
another.
then probably Connor, and he's the one who did most of the coverage on me and fucked me over the most. And that's just bullshit. You have no evidence for that. You have no proof of that. You don't even
That's
know.
not what I was claiming.
Oh.
You're arguing a straw man. I'm
It's not
trying
a
to
straw
explain
man.
to you what
This is the logical fallacy.
What I was claiming.
And then, dude, then Connor stops talking and Bowblax stops dead because he just wanted to fucking yell over him. He had no idea what to say.
Explain to you what I was claiming.
Red herring. Oh my god.
Like you're so hung up on this, what you thought I was saying.
Milieu control.
Saying that, like you can't even accept that. That's what I meant.
You're saying commentary coverage. I'm going off your exact words verbatim.
Commentary
What's the
coverage.
name of the
Yes.
guy?
Of
that's
20
not
of March
Nick
2025. That's when the
Mr.
interview.
Dude, he's hitting his table. Can you hear that?
Commentary coverage. Yes.
And
Of
that-
20
you're saying-
of March 2025. That's when the interview happened.
You know, that doesn't even make sense. You're hyper focused on this month.
Thank you for the goal.
First of all, that month has nothing to do with anything I've
That's when the interview happened, and that's what I'm responding to. How can you not get to see your dense skull?
Yeah, okay.
Bro, you don't have the legal right to insult anybody else or call them dense, bro. Come on, let's be honest here. Let's call a spade a spade. It's been revoked.
Talking about commentary coverage made on me in March 2025 in an interview in March 2025 because he's asking me about commentary.
Dude, Augie's got like a shit-eating grin on his fucking face, dude.
Coverage of me during the current date of March 2025.
He's asking you who you were closest with.
That's what I was saying.
He's asking
and
you
if
who
you
you
don't
were closest
understand
with,
that, you're a
dude.
dumbass.
He's
And
asking you who you were closest with.
I'm only gonna engage based
Who
on
were you closest
the
with,
truth
Connor?
and not based on this assumption
Hey, so
that I was
answer this
saying
then.
something else.
Why is it I was closest with Connor, and so that means most of the commentary coverage? You're answering a question from 8 months ago when we were close, and then adding on the snake bit. But somehow that's about March, not actually from 8 months
I'm not
ago.
answering. He's
Actually.
saying who was I closest with. I say you.
Yes, 8 months ago.
And then I say about how it.
That's now
Yeah,
March. We've
and
transitioned
that-
to March out of nowhere. in your
Any
brain.
information, any
You were
information
just
that's
talking about 8 months ago.
new. Shut the fuck up for a second. Any information that is new. Any information that is new. Right? Any information that is new that comes out in a video.
Dude, he keeps screaming to get control of the conversation, and he has no idea
name
what
of
to
the
say.
guy? Keemstar Orbiter.
This is amazing.
Nick Oreo, Mr. Oreo.
Mute that motherfucker.
Yeah, no. Bowblax sorta debates like a certain Hassan Parker.
Yes, he
Louder,
does.
Whiter, lazier, dirtier, denser, filthier, spazzier.
Oh, I'm almost
That's
sad that we're
Hassan
getting to the end
Parker.
of the segment. Oh, fuck, dude.
We've transitioned to March out of nowhere. in your
Any
brain.
information, any
You were
information
just
that's
talking about 8 months
new.
ago.
Shut the fuck up for a second. Any information that is new. Any information that is new. Right? Any information that is new that comes out in a video uploaded in March 2025 possibly came from you finding out 8 months ago. The information is 8 months old, but it comes out in March 2025.
So
you
so
understand
from,
now?
So from the time
or are you
period,
still
from the time
retarded?
period of September to March,
Dude,
none of
how
that
do you
personal
not?
information.
How do you literally not?
None of that
watch
stuff
the
would have
interview
mattered.
again.
That had nothing
Listen
to do
the
with
interview
me.
again.
Let's just clarify.
I'm just arguing. I'm
September
trying
the-
to clarify to you
I
what I
know.
meant,
Nicholas,
and you're just
the
arguing
goat.
against
Well, okay.
it. What's
I'm
the
gonna
point?
go off your
What are you
point. So
arguing?
September to March, you're saying that you're not making an allegation that I would have snaked you at any time from like what September to March. Only after March 2025, then I would have been revealing new information about you.
What? Yeah, after our
Oh my god, dude. Oh, dude, the immediate, like, oh, fuck.
falling out. Yeah.
So March 2025. So
March
months
2025.
Yeah, yeah, that's the falling out. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I just post that. Yeah.
So September to
Post
March.
that, yeah.
All the whole Manchi stuff, the whole lyric stuff, the whole like lying about BPD, all that stuff had the whole Nick meltdown. None of that had anything to do with me.
Dude, I miss the days where we all thought Bowblax was on cocaine and nobody said anything. We didn't know what was wrong with him. We're like, maybe he's got a drug problem. That's why he's asking me for money. Maybe, maybe it's just he's acting sporadic. Maybe he's gone through withdrawal. Like that was my best guess as to what was happening. Is okay, Bowblax has a drug problem, and it would be so much easier if that was it, because you can correct that. Like you can go to rehab, right? Like you can do something about that. And we were just so wrong, and it's so sad.
Even though you said that I had covered,
like unironically, Bowblax having a drug problem would be better than what we got here.
I never said it had anything to do with you.
Okay, so you just
where did I say it had something to do with you?
When you said that I was responsible for the majority of the commentary coverage. That's when you said that. But now you're
like, I was like, oh, okay, dude, he's just kind of fucking. He's got a drug problem. Okay, he'll figure it out. He'll be okay. And it was just like, then he lied about having BPD to justify why he said, "Let me speak." Fucking 7 years ago. Okay, cool, awesome, dude.
It had nothing to do with me at all. Okay, well, I don't know what you're even saying in that. I don't know why if you're.
Dude, you're pretending. There's no way.
Pretending what?
You're bullshitting.
Dude, he's calling somebody out for lying because he's got no argument to this question. You're a liar. You're a liar. You're lying. That's actually the answer. You're lying.
Wait, you don't.
You just watched the clip.
You don't understand it. Yeah, we did.
So you're basically retracting what you said. You're saying that you randomly added an impetus. You randomly added a caveat to your argument that actually it's only after March 2025, and
no, I never said that. I was only after March 2025. I already explained it to you.
You just said that it was.
Oh my god, dude! This is
any information.
I promise you, it stops looping in a second and gets good again.
Dude.
Nicholas,
play it again. Go back like 10 seconds and play the clip again.
All right, let's play it again.
How else
like 15 seconds.
That's the guy who
he's so silent for somebody who's been aggressively trying to gain control of the conversation. It's more like he needs Connor to stop talking, and he hasn't had enough time to think of like what to say in replacement.
My editor, we were talking like every day for like 6 months. I tell him everything. These leaks are
half of these leaks
from like, but most of I would assume the commentary against me or the
commentary
things against me kind of originate
from Connor.
Saying, exactly. Yes.
What the fuck are you saying?
Any information coming out in
news, man.
Shut the fuck. Any conversation. Information. Any information. Wait, what? Wait.
Am I?
He just glitched out. What the fuck just happened? He just stopped. Bowblax.exe just failed. This is so ridiculous.
Any information.
He just lagged.
Wait, what? Wait.
Am I? What is this level of gaslighting?
Wait, sorry. I accidentally played the stream and I thought people were talking over me. I don't know how that came out.
What? What the? Dude, the voices were talking over me. The voices were talking. You were talking over me with witchcraft.
What the fuck am I witnessing?
Okay.
Dude, Shellboat wouldn't stop talking over me.
Okay.
I mean,
I was saying, okay. Let's do the step by step and tell me if you follow.
Please take me through this, Bowblax.
When we were friends,
is Dark Vibe AU a virgin?
Let me speak. Boom. Blue
Why would so many people be googling that?
Whatever, right?
Dude, this is ridiculous.
There's information you found out about me, or just general knowledge you know of me. You know Bowblax, you know me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I do. I don't think I ever knew you. I legitimately don't think I ever knew you.
And once we had a falling out, which was, past all of the Nick stuff, past all of the, whatever stuff. It's like when we publicly had our feuds, we're talking about, right? After that point, it would be natural to assume that the information you gathered from that time period with me, you would give some insight to Nick and Augie or whoever for their coverage on me based on how you know me. So you would be given advice on like, oh, Bowblax did this or he would do that or whatever, potentially, right?
Okay. Well, I mean, it's a complete retconning what you said, but whatever. If that's what you meant, then
That's
there's
what I
nothing
meant.
else I can say.
Okay, I agree to disagree. That's what you meant. It had nothing to do with what you said, and it's absolutely not what you meant, but we could agree to disagree and move forward. This is Bowblax's whole tactic. He wears you down. You know the way that people rape people? Okay? You know how men wear down women to fucking take advantage of them sexually? That's why Bowblax is a debate rapist, okay? That's what a debate rapist is. He wears you down until you just can't fucking argue anymore because he just keeps looping and looping and looping and looping and looping and looping.
If that's what you're saying, you meant. It's completely not what you said at all in any way, shape, or form. But whatever. There's no more point in arguing over it.
When I listened to the clip, that's exactly
There's
what
no
I
more point in
hear.
arguing over it. We obviously will just disagree on that, on what I think you meant. But
okay.
Don't tell me a button out. It's true. That is what a debate rapist is. You've heard of debate pedophile. That is a debate rapist. It is someone who just wears you down.
Is that resolved?
I guess so, yeah. I mean, there's nothing else I can say about that.
Now, DeOrio wants to ask you, call in and ask you some stuff.
Dude, I'm honestly... how long have we been talking? A while.
Well, it'll be quick.
No, dude. You're doing a Mania
Thank
stream,
you.
Right? You have
36 hours to...
Wait, whoa!
I really like
Whoa, alright. Wait, did you catch that? Hey, Nick wants to call it.
DeOrio wants to ask you, call in and ask you some stuff.
Immediately says no. Immediately looks for an excuse not to be here.
Dude, I'm honestly... how long have we been talking? A while.
It'll be quick.
No, dude.
Immediately starts stuttering to the point where he can't finish a fucking thought.
You're doing a Mania stream, right? You have a...
Sweating right now, fucking profusely. The pores are leaking estrogen.
36 hours to go. Well, actually,
you have
it is.
36 hours to go.
Wait a minute.
What if I come...
Well, before you leave,
back
then,
another day.
if you don't want to talk to Nick,
What if I came back another day? We can just talk tomorrow, right? I can go back in a few hours.
Continue this another day because I'm just out of steam from arguing, you know?
if you don't answer Nick,
I'm out of steam right now. I don't want to talk to Nick right now. Why do you not want to talk to Nick right now? Why do you not want to have a chat with young Nick right now?
I do have like one question. Can I just ask one question?
We have a lot of questions.
We all have a lot. There are a lot of questions. Have you considered that Milieu Control is by Robert J. Lifton? He had lots of questions about cult psychology.
So we haven't even gone to the Miss Manchi stuff. Don't you want to?
Oh, you want to talk about that?
No, later, like
like a different day. This goes on for so long. He is caught trying to explain any reason to not talk to me for so long. It is so comical.
So what does the baby bottle mean in Mr. Miss Manchi? What does that mean?
The what?
Like the baby bottle emoji that you tweeted out on Mr. Miss Manchi?
It meant titty milk.
Titty milk. Okay, so it doesn't mean
Yeah.
age play.
No.
Okay.
All right.
Have you ever been interested in age play?
We'll continue this on another part in RFC Mania.
Are you gonna be coming back later?
Maybe another day. I don't know. I just know that I can't argue anymore. Like my throat's like actually sore. Like I just can't.
All right. Well, we'll
I'll finish this segment, then I'll check Yeet.
Let's just
we'll pick this up again later.
Yeah, we got through some things. So,
Okay.
It's a
all right.
With Bowblax and Augie, it's a long saga. All right.
It is.
There's
A
more to talk
long
about.
thing to get through. We tackled some of it, but hey, we'll do the rest later. All right.
All right.
This is
Not
so
running, it's
awesome.
postponing.
We'll call again.
He's not
You
running, guys.
promise.
He's not running from the convo. He's not running.
You promise we'll
We're
call
open
again.
to it completely.
Sure.
All right. Well, damn. Damn.
The actual fuck was
I
that?
did not expect any of that. We'll call Nick here in a second, but I just
We'll
need
call
like.
Oh god, dude. Oh god. So I inevitably call into this to give my argument that I wanted to give to Bowblax, much like when Bowblax ran from Tom last year. Pathetic little rodent, dude. Absolute little cretin. And eventually I do get into the call and we figure it out. I have to, yeah, here it is. So I finally screen share and I get to give my presentation to the audience. All right, take a look at this. Jew Gokinaru is currently above it.
All right. Okay, there we go. There we go. We got it set up. All right.
Okay,
we see your
so I wanted to do a
presentation.
little presentation. This is a new video that was uploaded. So now, obviously, Bowblax accused me of doxing, then kind of walked it back and said that I showcased a legal document that provided information about his private life. And that's a bad thing, and he's a principled guy, and he's never done that before, except for 5 years ago when he definitely did that. But he's never promoted Kiwi Farms, except for the one time that he did promote Kiwi Farms, and that this is his principal position, and he would never violate it. It was 2 years ago, so it's more recent than 5 years ago, which was our metric we were using. Because at some point along the way... So now I'm pulling up a video of him talking about an Adriana Lee lawsuit 2 years ago. So that's a bit interesting, right?
All right. Okay, there we go. There we go. We got it set up. All right.
Okay,
we see your
so I wanted to do a little presentation. This is a new video that was uploaded. I don't really think you need audio. It was 2 years ago, so it's more recent than 5 years ago, which was our metric we were using. Because at some point along the way, Bowblax's principles changed. Now, I think they changed the minute that he was talked about. I think that's when his new principles were established.
Yeah.
But
that's
I can't
ludicrous.
prove that. I can't prove that, okay? What I can show you is this is a Adriana lawsuit full audiobook. Full audiobook. In fact, throughout the course of this video, he reads like most of the document. That's the point. All it is a full video
in the online stream
of Bowblax reading court documents. But not only does he do that, he also shouts out Henry Resilient, who's apparently chief doxer in chief, okay? Because he is a YouTuber who almost exclusively reads court documents.
Former investigator and current YouTuber.
Now, you could say 2 years ago, that's kind of crazy. Toastify found this. I've got to get one of my own. So let's go to the Bowblax YouTube channel. Oh, wow. What is this? Twitter versus Carl Jobst? Is this right here an officer of the court? Okay, is this a judge?
Yeah.
Okay, giving a verdict. Now, eagle-eyed viewers would notice that there is no... Okay, that's the GoFundMe. Eagle-eyed viewers would know there is no court documents in this video, which was uploaded April 1st, 2025. But what is in here is the full verdict document, uncensored, for your amusement.
No way.
Wow.
Linked directly in the description of the video.
Is there any compromising information in there? I mean,
I imagine there probably is, considering it's a 120-page court document that is literally one of the top fucking parts of his description.
Right.
So again, I argue,
And
that
keep in mind,
his commentary.
he's referencing like a court proceeding as well. So if you're showing any document there, even if there's nothing in those documents at all whatsoever that could be considered fucking private information, you're now referencing the court case so people will know to search it. All I did was show a censored fucking document, and that was enough to encourage the doxing and harassment of Bowblax. Bowblax has done this throughout the course of his career. Nobody has ever viewed reading court documents as fucking doxing before, and if they did, they're stupid. But Bowblax certainly didn't.
YouTubers read legal documents all of the fucking time, okay? We've done this since the Onision thing. Remember the stream we did where we were pulling up a court document from the Onision thing and clicking YouTube link after YouTube link? Nobody ever had a problem.
And that's ignoring all the times he sat on Augie's stream while Augie was reading court documents over the last 5 years.
Problem with it. On my stream, I've said if there's legal shit, I'll try to censor it as best as I can. But, like, it's a fucking court document.
Now,
what am I
Bowblax,
supposed to do here? And now I didn't show his address. He admits I didn't show his address. So is this not worse than what I did?
So Bowblax says in the chat in response to what you said, and if Mizkif hated me for that, it would make sense. You're allowed...
Yeah, buddy, you're a little late. I don't think Mizkif is the chief argument here. I think he was just an earlier example.
To do it, you're just an asshole for it, Nick.
Yeah. Well, I brand myself as an asshole, so fortunately, I've got that going for me.
I was going to say, yeah, if the argument just ultimately boils down to Nick's a cunt, then, I mean, that's...
But he should stop saying Nick shared my personal info because it's a weird implication that you're like doxing.
Well, no, it's not a weird implication. It would be a lie, Connor.
Right.
Which is not even close to what's happening.
Yeah.
He should, that is a...
And yes, Bowblax, while he couldn't talk, was fucking firing off messages in the chat that I wasn't reading because I was in the middle of giving my presentation.
It's wrong of him to be saying that shit.
I did not share his personal information.
Exactly.
That's not what. Yeah, and again, and people were saying that I doxed his name until I found the clip where he said his,
which we showed today. Obviously, Bowblax has said his own name,
full last name on stream.
Oh, I mean,
so
he's shown his full last name.
But again, Bowblax is a chronic liar. By that I
times.
mean he smokes shitloads of weed and then cries.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I mean by chronic liar. Just to be clear, when did I upload this video? By the way, that pissed him off. Lost home. So let me see.
Well, this would have been around a month ago.
So the funny part, this is actually the funniest part. Bowblax's principled position was actually born, I guess, on April 11th, because on April 1st, he was happy just sharing court documents.
Right.
Yeah, we've gone from 5 years ago I did this, but it's my principled position, to I did this 10 days prior to me, just to the time you did it to me. So sometime in the 10-day span between when I posted court documents and when you posted court documents, they became bad.
On April 1st.
So thankfully, he came to his senses in the next 10 days to find his brand new principled position.
That he's held for years, apparently. His whole commentary history.
Yeah, I mean, his response
He
is
must
just...
have gone on like a... He went in the woods and found Jesus in the 10 days. And it told him that showing court documents on stream is a malicious act that one should never do.
Yeah.
By the way,
I mean...
111 became 411.
Like I said, it's two things, man. If his argument is that this isn't a principled stance, this is just my reasoning for hating you, it's like again, you have to be clear here. Okay, well then we're not talking about doxing then, right? We're talking about
coverage that you didn't like.
Which is...
Now, what if I told you after this, for a brief couple of moments, I actually do talk to Bowblax? Yes, he now calls me after I've already explained my whole argument to then confront me on it.
Like,
that's it.
It's an interesting stance because it's like also, like I don't like when people call me an asshole or something like that, but I also call other people assholes. It's like a pointless argument to make. You know what I mean? I don't know, man.
Mission failed. We'll get him next time.
Yeah. That's just... I wish he was there to talk to you. He said he's down to call in.
Did I record it? Yes, that's actually the best part. I did record it because it happens right, I think now.
We'll do that.
Yeah. And
Hey,
gentlemen.
all
how's it
right,
going?
what do you need me to call in about?
This is insane, dude. This is crazy.
I feel like oh shit, I need to mute the stream. One sec. Yeah, I feel like
And he comes back in level-headed. He has no idea why we're chomping at the bit on him here. He's started it over again. He's coming back and he's nice now.
I answered in chat. Augie said it, and then Nick acknowledged. So why am I calling you?
Oh, we've agreed to disagree. I didn't even know, dude. Did you know that we agreed to disagree in that time frame? I missed it. I didn't realize that was what occurred. So I'm just curious. So when did your position change? Because you obviously posted court documents on your YouTube channel like 10 days prior.
Yeah, you're allowed to fucking post court documents.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh.
You're allowed to fucking post court documents and shit.
What do you mean you're allowed to post? You mean doxes?
It's not a dox. What?
I would actually agree with that position. Are we agreeing to disagree on this one, Bowblax? What's happening?
I never said
I didn't show your address. Wait, then what did I do wrong? What do you hate me for?
You were spreading the info, and I was pissed off about that. And I hate
about you.
Augie asked the reason I exposed you as comment cop, and I gave him the reason. That pissed me off.
I'm not comment cop, you psychotic retard.
You are. Why are you still lying about this? What?
I would love.
Why
to
are you still lying about this?
If I was comment cop, that would be a good thing.
Then why are you so mad about the supposed lie that you're comment cop if you're so thrilled that you would be comment cop?
What are you talking? I've made thousands of dollars off.
You're like, I'm going after you, Bowblax, now because of comment cop thing. This is one of my favorite things in one of your the one video I watched.
One video, by the way. You've never watched any of the other content, but you know now he latches onto the one video thing. Oh my god.
No, wait. How do I know everything that's in it? I know what my comments say, which repeat a lot of what you say.
So he bites that, right? He bites the. I know I've never watched your videos. So then I follow up with the obvious. So how could you know what you're criticizing if you've never seen what I've said?
Wait, how do I know everything that's in it? I know what my comments say, which repeat a lot of what you say. So maybe that.
Wait, so you're saying that all of your arguments about what I've said come from people writing them to you in YouTube comment form? So you've got no idea what I've ever said about you. If the only thing you got from me is people have, I guess, quoted me in your YouTube comment section. How could you possibly know what to criticize? Yeah, he didn't really have an answer. He didn't realize that lie would be like, that's a rake. That's a pretty big rake he just walked into. Because now he either has to concede right, that he does watch the videos, or he has to just lie and say that he's just made everything up, which it isn't technically a lie, but
I just said
out of
wait, did I criticize?
Need more weed required. More resources required. Dude, you gotta like inject weed so you can finish.
Did I ever criticize? Did I ever criticize like the in-depth intricacies of like your videos and the points you made in them? All I said was that I was.
Well, I mean,
pissed off
if you're not, then you've just lied about me for months. If you've never seen anything
I just
I've
said
said.
the one video. Wait,
what is the one?
What did I lie? Okay, where's the lie?
Which is the one video this time, please? Which is the one video this time?
The one that I left a comment on that we were just talking about that you interrupted me on.
Okay, like what's the point?
The point is that video is why I called you out to be comment cop.
Someone wrote in chat, sometimes I'm like, man, Bowblax is really not as unhinged as everyone makes him out to be. He sucks, but at least he's not totally out of his mind. And then he's like, Nick is comment cop, Nick is comment cop, Nick is comment cop. But why did you fabricate that I'm comment cop?
I didn't fabricate it. You are comment cop. You're still
Do you have
lying
any
about
evidence
it.
to support that? Every person in that Discord server claims to have not seen what
at least he admits it. I mean, shit.
Dude, like,
why did you never?
If you're just gonna lie.
Bowblax, I have a question. Is this
why are you grilling me on a lie? We all know the truth here. Why are you just just keep grilling me then? I'm not gonna like concede. Like what?
Why did you never confront me privately if you thought I've been snaking you for years? When we were on better terms.
Because you blocked me.
Wait, I blocked you. You happened to just join the Discord, saw that I was comment cop, and then I blocked you, like in that like sweeping motion.
No.
So you thought that I was snaking you for months prior, based off of this argument.
Yeah, I could barely get a conversation. I kept trying to get in a conversation with you. You blow me off.
Even when you were manic and angry, this still didn't come up in our conversation. Even when you were saying absolutely,
yes, we went over this. Yes,
you
we
did
went
not
over
mention.
this.
No, we didn't go over this.
If we're gonna, yeah, me and Augie talked about it earlier.
You were fighting with me and lobbing everything you had at me, and you didn't mention.
It wasn't everything I had. And I was distressed. I was distressed and mentally ill.
What else?
It wasn't an act.
So like when he does this all the time and uses every mental deficiency that he has possible as an excuse for every single thing that's happening in his life, don't criticize me for questioning other things that he says.
And I wanted to protect you. I said in the DMs, dude, or you let me respond. Are you gonna let me respond? Or are you gonna keep interrupting like a fat ass?
It depends if you yell louder. If you yell louder when I interrupt, then I will interrupt.
Well, you're interrupting when
if it becomes more clippable when I interrupt you, I will interrupt you more.
Okay, all right. Let's have a little bit of decorum here. One at a time. Bowblax go, and then Nick.
He left. You've got nothing. He's got literally nothing, dude. I can't.
Did he leave?
Did he leave?
He did.
Oh, he did.
What the fuck? I literally just... I
just tried to balance
I literally
it.
just moderated. What the fuck? Come back.
Moderated.
No, I will deadass moderate.
Yes.
Come back.
Come on.
Dude.
Oh my god, Nick. You fucked it up, Nick. You weren't too... You went too ballistic, bro.
I have a stream in like 30 minutes. I've got to get all the clips now.
You motherfucker, dude. You become like the Aiden Ross of debate. You're like, I will interrupt you repeatedly. Bowblax is like, okay, well then fuck this conversation then. No shit, he left. I don't even blame him.
What's he gonna do? Loop me around? You are a comment cop. I have no evidence that you are a comment cop. If he just lies to my face, what's the nature of the conversation?
I mean, I'm fucking around a little bit. Look, if he does call in, I will moderate it, but I think this is a stupid conversation.
You're a pedophile, Augie. Debate me. I've got no evidence to call you a pedophile, but you're a pedophile, okay?
Oh, man.
You want to have a regular conversation about other things, Augie, Mr. Pedophile?
Yeah, dude. Let's have an engaging debate on this. Oh, man.
Yeah, like, what is the productive conversation? If you're opening with a fucking straight-up lie, what is the productive conversation going to sound like? Of course I'm going to treat you like a fucking animal, because you're acting like one. Yeah, like, if you open up just completely fucking slandering me, what is the, where is the positive discourse forward? There is none. So obviously after this, the only thing that really happened, and I pulled up all the examples, right? Like there's the H3 Triller lawsuit, I'm sure you could find some choice information about Ethan Klein if you check those documents. Another update to the H3 Triller lawsuit. The Adriana, it's just like literally a ride-along for a lawsuit where he just reads it all to you. And in hindsight, it's probably good that Bowblax didn't fall in love with Adriana Lee like every other woman who's ever talked to him. And then obviously the Carl Jobs, which was like a month ago, with the full judgment stream, an article linked, and then also the full verdict document. Which was linked here. So court proceedings are now fair game. That's the Bowblax segment. The only other stuff that happened with Josh is the stuff that we've already checked out throughout the course of the stream. He's been crashing out on Twitter. And we've got, so he leaked that Augie went to a Nick Fuentes event, I guess, which now opens the floodgates because, of course, that means every single thing that anybody has on Bowblax is probably going to be imminently dropped. Anything that's left. That you're so high off your own farts, you didn't notice the person you were trying to argue said bye and left 3 minutes ago. This is him trying to turn rage quitting the call and leave and literally running twice. He ran twice. Okay, no wonder he's skinnier than me. He ran twice in fucking 10 minutes. And he's trying to turn that into a W, which is great. Did he say bye? I don't know. I couldn't hear over the sound of his own tears. If you support Nick Fuentes, please unfollow me. Augie then played a clip of Bowblax saying the hard R. And then Bowblax tried tweeting it again, like the same clip a second time. I don't know, what is this one? His reaction is so telling.
So Bowblax says, I was sent this just now, which is...
Oh, his reaction to the fucking... Dude, again, this is just like Bowblax, though. He's playful. You don't go his way, then all of a sudden you are X, Y, and Z, dude. He'll defend you to the death until the moment you cross him, and then he just goes and completely says anything and everything. So that is his prerogative. Good for him. Twitter versus Onision. This one's so funny, dude. This is actually the funniest clip.
Streamer called Billy the Fridge, who was actually able to confront Onision outside his house, and this time, instead of calling the cops, he actually had a 40-minute conversation on live stream.
I can't, dude. This guy is such a fucking raging loser. Holy shit, dude. Actually unreal. Don't forget to use code DIORIO55 to get 55% off your first month at Scentbird.